talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Score a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. With your headlines at 1 o'clock, I'm Toby Gillis. Ricky Hatton has been laid to rest at a star-studded funeral service at Manchester Cathedral after thousands lined the streets to pay their final respects. The former world champion boxer was 46 when he died at his home last month. These people we spoke to live nearby and say he was more than a boxer to them.
It's just so sad. We've lost a legend here today.
He was, always regarded as a man of the people. He was the local lad, done good.
I've met him a few times. In Hyde Denton in the pubs. Always had a smile on his face, always polite. He's one of ours, isn't he?
But for many, Hatton's boxing will live in the memory forever, including legendary commentator Ian Darke, who's there.
I think he stands, in the history of this, famous sporting city, alongside the sort of sporting royalty of Sir Alex Ferguson, George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law.
Elsewhere, Declan Rice insists England need their absent superstars, despite their best two performances under Thomas Tuchel coming with apparently weakened sides. Rice says they still miss Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden and Cole Palmer, despite adding that they are obviously an unreal team. Looks like Stevie G is heading back to Rangers after what we understand to be positive talks in London. They are close to complete agreement to bring the man who wrested the title from Celtic, the only time it's been done in the last 14 seasons, in 2020-21. And Pat Cummins might yet be fit for the start of the Ashes. Aussie coach Andrew McDonald says they've not given up hope that the skipper's back injury will clear in time for November the 21st. There's far more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Israel's military has withdrawn from parts of Gaza under the ceasefire deal with Hamas, and Donald Trump has been snubbed for the Nobel Peace Prize. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Pretty cloudy for most with some drizzle, but still relatively warm for mid-October.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Andy, please tell us what's coming up.
Well, coming up over the next 3 hours, Stuart Pearce and Stan Collymore give us their take on England last night. We'll discover why Captain Hindsight's popping up quite a lot in Wales today. And if Tartan Army foot soldier Ali Ross uses the phrase, never in doubt, we're cutting him off.
Yeah, we're taking him off air, never in doubt. We'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers. We'll hear about those things you wish you'd clarified. And the troubling way in which cricket left Danbury after 200 years.
Yeah, it's a scandal, really. There's all this plus the clips of the week. And Cowboys owner Digit disgrace in Todd Macklin's American Sport Roundup.
Jerry Jones in trouble, the owner of the Cowboys.
Yeah, I saw that,
Digit disgrace, there's no other way of putting it. Anyway, we'll tell you more about that later, amongst some other stuff. It is approaching 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. And good afternoon, Andy.
Yes, good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, everybody. And, plenty of England later, so I'll see.
Yeah. You're going to keep your powder dry?
I don't know if you saw this tweet by Professor Brian Cox. Did you see this?
No. What was it? Football related?
Well, you'll see. It's talkSPORT related. He says, just looked at my diary for tomorrow and it says I'm on a radio show and the other guest is Bob Monkhouse. I'm delighted, of course, but we'll have to reassess my understanding of the second law of thermodynamics and /or relativity. And I just put, two different stories.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist.
He hasn't come back to you on that.
No, but I've had quite a lot of traction on it.
That must be quite a long booking they made quite a long while ago.
I think it was just I think it was Bob Mortimer. I think.
Okay, right, fair enough.
There was a typo, a mistake.
Right, fair enough.
And I went viral this week actually with my very innocent comments about Jamie Carragher, who I like, who's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
And it was a sort of inoffensive poke at him because Chelsea had won, and I'm sure if Liverpool win the reverse fixture at Anfield,
he'll have a go at you.
Honestly, it's like social media makes it look like there's this feud between us.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's pathetic.
They've fallen out.
Oh, it's pathetic, honestly. It really is pitiful, actually.
And it didn't happen in your day, did it? You didn't have stuff like this. You might send a telegram to someone.
But he could read.
Somebody else might see the telegram. Only about 3 or 4 people.
You could just see the
somebody on the back of a horse, like Paul Revere, would go to a different town and say, Andy Jacobs says it's football karma. It was different in your day, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I watched the Victoria Beckham on Netflix documentary.
So I didn't have to.
Very much so. And actually, I enjoyed it.
What's it all about?
Well, it's about her, funnily enough.
Right. In what? Is it a kind of puff piece for a business?
No, it's about it. Well, sort of. She's the master media manipulator. You have to hand it to her. She's brilliant, and what she's done in her business. I do. Nobody loves the Beckhams more than me. No, I do think that actually they've got a lot of stuff written about them, which is.
Does she have editorial control? Is it at all?
Yeah.
Does it?
Of course.
It's all very polished, is it?
They don't come out and say, "Oh, Victoria's terrible" or anything.
No, I don't want to. But I mean, so it's not a kind of profile. It's been made by Victoria Beckham Productions.
It's a sort of look at her life, basically.
So inside, do you get to meet the family?
Oh yeah, you see some of the family, not all the family.
No, not all the family.
You understand?
Are hanging about much at the moment, are they? You see David.
Oh, you see David.
I understand he snores. We learned
apparently
he's a snorer.
Basically, well, it's like all of these things. It is very, very cultivated.
How long is it?
Curated, but I don't know how many episodes though.
Oh no, not episodes.
Oh yeah, it's episodes.
Oh mate.
Oh no, I only watched the first one. I probably won't watch the rest of them.
I mean, how many hours of it is there?
I don't know. I didn't actually look into it. I only watched the first one.
Coming up next week, next time on Victoria Beckham.
Yeah. And
thank you very much.
Gunnosaurus, the Arsenal mascot, has been voted the most ridiculous mascot.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous in itself.
Alan Smith was very unhappy about it. He likes the outfit that he has to wear.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I often see Smudger wearing it during the Tottenham game.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, I see him in that full Gunnosaurus outfit.
And did you see
he's at the lane?
This bloke was in, I think I can't remember exactly where he was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was in, it doesn't really matter where he was, really. He was in Barnsley, that's right.
Okay.
He was hospitalised after eating 3-kilo bag of Haribos.
Wow.
3 kilos. I mean, I had 2 at Brentford last week.
Yeah.
In the next seat, gave me a couple. And that was a lot. I mean, they take quite a bit of chewing, but I mean, 3 kilos...
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised he ended up in hospital.
Many years ago, there was a story. There was a very intrepid. What was his name? Very intrepid reporter in the Star. He may still be on the Star.
Oh, Lawton. What's his name?
That wasn't Lawton.
Jim Lawton?
No. It was. I'm talking about it's the pick and mix stories.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
This was. They got this story. Do you know what? Often they'll say in a tabloid, "Got a story." And someone obviously contacted the Star with this story.
Yeah.
They'd gone to the cinema in Manchester.
Yeah.
And Jaap Stam.
Oh, yeah.
And his missus had gone there, and he'd been in the foyer.
Yeah.
And Jaap, Mr. and Mrs. Stam, had bought 36 quid's worth of pick and mix.
That's a lot.
That's a lot now. I mean, imagine this is about the year 2000, wasn't it? Because it was very early on.
He didn't end up in hospital.
Early on in our tenure. So, look at this is a tenure. So, it's more like 25 year. So, and they worked their way during this. I don't know what the film was. I mean, it was obviously quite a lot. It might have been Dances with Wolves, although people would have they'd say, he's going to Wolves. The talkSPORT website have it. Is Jaap Stam going to Wolves? No. They had their way through 36 quid's worth of pick and mix.
That's a lot.
And the Star went with it.
Yeah.
I think it was a front page story.
Well, it's fair enough, really.
I never gave Yap the right to reply, really. I suppose all his teeth had fallen out at that point.
Do you see this story about Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Radcliffe is to hold talks with Nigel Farage? I don't care about that. But he was talking about Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He said, I do like him, but you have to make some tough decisions, and maybe he's a bit too nice. I thought, he could be talking about Hammer him, couldn't he?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, he could be, but he's got 3 years.
Apparently.
Yeah, we were chatting about that yesterday.
Not if they lose 5-0 at Liverpool.
There's a story today emanating from Saudi, of course, that there's some serious money, whether it's a takeover, whether it's an investment. Turki al-Sheikh, a man well connected in those parts, has gone public.
He certainly is, isn't he?
And we will be chatting to our expert on that part of the world, Ben Jacobs, a little bit later on to get the strength of those stories. You can't imagine he would say something like that, with his contacts and his knowledge and the people he knows in that country, without there being something in it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So
it can't be the Newcastle people. They'd have to get rid of Newcastle.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I imagine it. There's other money in the country, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that. There's a story emerging today as well, Andy. I don't know if our producer put it online for us. Quite an intriguing tale of it was Nani, the old Manchester United player, readily admitting that very often he didn't understand a word that Alex Ferguson said. And he would get the gist of whether he'd been playing well or badly just by the nature of facial expression.
The tone and the amount of...
And the colour. The amount of spittle on the colour of Sir Alex's face when he had him cornered in the room. So I thought it was quite an interesting one. Sometimes... I mean, he never asked for clarification. Because he couldn't understand it, he might have told him very express instructions of how to go out and play in the second half, which he wouldn't have understood a word of.
Well, fair enough, really.
So I just wondered, were there times in life when you really should have asked for clarification? Because we all do it, don't we? We all sort of do that thing when someone tells us, you think, oh, yeah, that's fine. I mean, probably if you're a tradesperson and, I remember going away for the weekend. My dad, God bless him, decided to do me and my missus a favour. We bought a load of new wallpaper, and he said, "I'll come and do it for me." We said, "Great, yeah, no problem." Yeah. So we had wallpaper for a bedroom, wallpaper for the living room, and we went away. Said, "I'll do it for him."
Didn't do the wrong way around.
Oh yeah. We come home from this weekend away.
Sweet story. Actually.
And then he phones up afterwards. He says, "Well, I mean, what do you say?"
Well,
we got the bedroom, and you start to think, well, has he got a better eye than us? Maybe that's the way it should have been.
Did you redo it?
I don't know how we dealt with it. It's political, isn't it, with you folks? Anyway, you get the idea with that. We should have asked for clarification. We certainly should have done. But anyway, talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. As Nani kicked us off, I'd argue that's a sports story. We're going to talk England. We're going to talk Scotland as well, and Wales later on. As we said, Captain Hindsight doing the rounds in Wales today. We'll explain why later with Rob Earnshaw. We'll look ahead to the Belgium game and how the England game has set them up for that. Stuart Pearce, though, will kick us off to give us his thoughts on last night, including... I mean, Stuart sees every England game, home and away. He can tell you if a crowd's noticeably quiet or not. Don't go looking for trouble.
I don't know why he did that.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Look, I mean, Jose used to do it now and again, but you keep fans on their toes, don't you, I guess? But friendly when you're 3-0 up. I mean, what do you want? White heat. You're not going to get that, are you?
Games.
You're not going to get a cauldron. You're not going to get welcome to hell, are you, in those circumstances?
No, of course not.
We'll also be chatting to Ali Ross. And as we said, he better not use the phrase never in doubt, because I think really up to the 63rd minute, it was seriously in doubt because they were stinking the place out, Scotland.
The commentator, I watched the last 10 minutes, the commentator said that was very pickpockety.
Yeah, that's a good turn of phrase, isn't it? Pickpockety, I like that.
It was good. And finally for me, I don't know if you saw this, I got blanked by the H&J WhatsApp show group last night. I thought it was quite a clever observation.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, did you get blanked? Oh, yeah, I should have maybe come back to you just out of pity.
Georgia did out of pity about 3 hours later.
Yeah. She felt bad for you.
Because I thought that, I noticed the ball markings were very much like the markings on the dogs in 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, that sounds like one that you would have given to Skinner and Baddiel back in the day, and they would have tried it in the run through, and it would have got nothing.
Very.
We'd all been there as well.
I did think it might be for
the cameramen don't laugh.
Of the film, but it was remarkably similar.
It was quite similar. Dance tells us, I saw Darren Bent buy at least €40 worth of pick and mix outside the Dortmund Stadium last year at the European Championships. Bloke on the stall happily started packing up to go home after Benty's
Really?
got a day's work out of
That's
Benty.
ridiculous.
Thank you, Dance, for that. Have you got unlikely sightings of the stars then? Eating sweets. That's very niche. Talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH and J. Stuart Pearce kicks us off. We're here, as always, with our good friends at Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
Well, there are no points at stake, but there are points to prove.
Very pleased with the first half. We could have been 4-5-0 up.
Perfect start for England. They're ahead inside 2.5 2.5 minutes. Morgan Rogers, who kept his nerve to siphon into the bottom left-hand corner.
It's what you dream of as a kid. It's things that drive you to work hard and to get into this position. So, yeah, it's a lovely feeling.
It's played across the face of goal for Watkins, who cannot miss.
We've seen what this environment was. Now, we're not quite there, of course. But to me, if I'm being honest, this gives me hunger.
Saka turning it onto his left foot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal.
And that is one of the best goals I have ever seen in this stadium. An incredible finish.
No, it felt good when it left my foot, and obviously when I looked up and I saw where it was, great feeling.
So we imposed ourselves physically and then also with our quality, of course, so that's why I'm very happy.
The feeling remains that England are certainly moving in the right direction. They've beaten Wales tonight by 3-0.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel very happy with the performance. Not quite as happy with the atmosphere at Wembley.
See, but if he hadn't said anything, nobody would have noticed it.
No. Well, he said it. He said it in the ITV post-match press conference. Then he clarified it with the other press. This is what he had to say.
Good moment to explain myself. Well, first of all, I said the support in Serbia was absolutely fantastic. When we played last time in Serbia, I said it and I meant it. I love English football and I love English football fans and the support they give. But I think today the atmosphere did not match the performance on the field.
Stuart Pearce joins us. You heard him there, loving the goal by Bukayo Saka. Hi, Stuart.
Afternoon, gents.
Yeah, away support though is always better.
Yeah,
even for your club, it's.
You see every England game, Stuart.
Yep.
So, was there any point where you or Jim or Adrian or any of the team were sitting there thinking, a bit quiet in here? Because it's 3-0 after 20 minutes. You know, the dynamic of a crowd, I thought it was pretty normal.
Yeah, it's pretty normal for Wembley, but you wouldn't say it was normal for a club game, if you like, you know. And I half get his point, you know. I think Wembley is a sort of corporate occasion as much as anything else in many ways, you know. So you get a transient support on occasion that come there. So it is slightly different. The best atmosphere I've ever seen in the stadium, and when we got the place really rocking, was probably Euro 96, to be honest, you know. And it become like a club atmosphere each game.
Yeah. It's very hard to get that sort of feeling when a team are coasting in a friendly and there's no jeopardy.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem.
And I do take your point, though. We saw at half-time so many people had decided to have another beer or a cup of tea in those corporate seats, which are right opposite the TV cameras, and it never looks good. It was empty even more than usual. But, yeah, you're right, Stuart. It is hard to kind of whip up an atmosphere. But I think in a competitive game, it's better, generally.
Yeah, in the main, that would be the case. The first half, certainly the first 20, 25 minutes of the first half, there was certainly something to get excited about, going 3-0 up in the game. Second half died a little bit. Wales played a touch better in the second half, no doubt about that. And as I say, I think it's not something to concentrate on. More importantly, the performance building on last month's performances. So that's the main thing for me.
I think Tuchel was definitely trying to go for this club feel and as if he's still a club manager, because I think his treatment of Bellingham is interesting, because if you had Bellingham in your club and you were worried about the effect of him, you would leave him out for a bit and see how he reacts. And I've got a feeling he's going to bring him back in either November or March, have a look at how he is around the group, and that might determine what he does with him, because I think all that stuff about his mum saying, some of the things he's saying, you do get that feeling that there is something going on. He can deny it, but there is something between the two of them that he doesn't like the way Bellingham is around the squad.
Yeah, I think that would be fair to say. As I say, I think he's handled it really well. You know, he just turned around and said, look, I don't think he's 100% fit as yet, but he's an outstanding player, fully fit. He'll be in the squad. I've got no problems with him. So he said all the right things, Tuchel. So I don't have a problem with that. I think his decision to leave him out and leave one or two individuals out that we think are superstars in this country isn't a bad thing. This is England, you know, so there's got to be... You've got to fight for your places. Sometimes you've got to give the likes of Elliot Anderson, who I thought was very, very good yesterday. And he gives great balance to the midfield. It enables Declan Rice to play further up the pitch. And I think what we got to do, and I think the key to how successful we'll be next summer, is getting the balance and making sure it's not all superstars crammed into a team. We're talking about getting the balance of a team that work for each other and deliver a performance.
Oh, he's definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
It's the right way to go about it.
I think so.
John Stones, though, I don't know about you, but every time he goes down injured, you really do fear for him, don't you? And I thought last night he'd done himself, but thank goodness he was okay, because he's a key part of what he's trying to do, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're short. I would say Mark Gahey is number one central defender in my eyes. I think he's outstanding. I really do. But he needs to be partnered by somebody, and I think John Stones looks a really good partnership, the pair of them. I think they work together. It enables Mark Gahey to play on the left-hand side where he does for his club as well, rather than the right-hand side.
I don't know where you stand on right-footed left-backs. Probably not great, Stuart, I would imagine. But Jed Spence, for all sorts of reasons, is getting the gig at the moment because of injuries and lack of game time for Miles Lewis-Skelly and stuff. What did you make of him there?
I thought he was steady away. I don't think he had anything to defend. I was really, really disappointed in Brennan Johnson. I've got to say, both in possession and out of possession. It was as though he was looking after himself for next week's game. That's how it looked to me, you know. And I mentioned it a few times, and I think it was Wales' biggest problem, the fact that they pressed, give their wicket away, and when the ball went past them, all of a sudden there was overloads in the fullback area, and if you do that to England, they will cause you big problems, you know. It's the teams that defend deep and compact that we have a problem against, and Wales done totally the opposite yesterday and enabled us to get on the front foot and get 3 easy goals.
Yeah, and one of those goals, an absolute beauty. We just heard you in commentary say how much you liked it, and by Saka, it was a great performance by him.
Lovely goal.
I mean, he is such a key player.
Oh,
for England.
Darno could have had Donnarumma on his shoulders. He ain't saving.
No. It was a lovely finish.
Well, put it this way. Our best player, arguably, last month was Madueke. He gets injured, and Saka comes back into the team and delivers a performance and a goal like that. You know, it really gives you confidence as an England supporter.
And when they're both fit and they're in a squad, it just gives you options, doesn't it? Because Saka, they work in different ways in the same position, Madueke and Saka, Stuart.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play Harry Kane up front, which it looks as though when he's fit he plays, there's no doubt about that, you need pace, and on the wings, individuals that have got pace that can go past people that are direct. And that's what you need. And we're fortunate enough to have the likes of Gordon, Madueke, Saka, Rashford, people that can actually do that. If you play players, and I've said this for a couple of years now, if you play the likes of maybe Cole Palmer or Foden on the wide areas, I think we lose a little bit of something, and Harry Kane loses the ability to finish when the ball flashes across the face of goal. But to have wingers like, let's say old-fashioned wingers like the likes of Saka and Gordon, Madueke, I think is a real bonus. It gets the balance right in the team.
Excellent. Thanks, Stuart. We'll catch up with you soon.
Take care, gents. Well done.
There we are. There's Stuart Pearce there. We'll be back, of course, building up to the Latvia game, which will bring you on talkSPORT on Tuesday evening. And the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is an England debrief, and indeed a Wales debrief, because Tom Lockyer was alongside Stuart and Adrian and Jim Proudfoot, all the fallout from the game. And you'll hear from Thomas Tuchel and Morgan Rogers and Bukayo Saka. So check it out, the talkSPORT Daily, available now on all podcast platforms. We're going to talk Scotland next, who were booed after Greece scored their first goal, a goal that had been coming for most of the game. And it was pretty toxic at Hampden, but somehow they turned it round.
Yeah,
and that was a massive result, 3-1, going into Belarus. And if they win that at Hampden at the weekend, then they've got a real foot in the door, certainly for a playoff place. So exciting times. Could be back at the World Cup for the first time since 1998. We'll speak to Tartan Army foot soldier Ali Ross and get his reaction to that performance and look ahead to Sunday very shortly.
Thousands of people have lined the streets of Manchester to pay tribute to Ricky the Hitman Hatton. His funeral procession travelled from his gym in his hometown Hyde up to Manchester Cathedral, where a private funeral's being held for him. One of those who turned out was the legendary commentator Ian Darke, who spoke with talkSPORT.
I think he stands, in the history of this, famous sporting city, alongside the sort of sporting royalty of Sir Alex Ferguson, George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law.
These fans watched as the procession passed them.
Two-weight world champion, never changed. He was always the same person that he always were.
Just a massive character. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't follow boxing, you know the name Ricky Hatton.
Now, it's our understanding that Stephen Gerrard returning to Ibrox is close to being agreed. It's already met with Rangers hierarchy in London on Thursday, where they held what are described as positive talks. Now, I've been hearing from Morgan Rogers, who continued to stake his claim for the England number 10 shirt with a goal and an assist against Wales. He says it's no bad thing to be fighting with the likes of Bellingham, Foden and Palmer for that position.
Every player will be breathing down each other's necks and the competition will be high, and that's what we want as an England squad. That's what we want as a nation going into a tournament. You want people competing for places, you want different options, and I think that's what we got. So I'm just going to keep pushing and see where it takes me.
You can hear Latvia against England live on talkSPORT on Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. The natives were restless at Hampden last night with the team behind the grease and well under the cosh for most of the game. They had so many chances, Greece, before they ultimately scored. Yet somehow, you look at the score, 3-1 to Scotland. Looks like an easy night's work.
That's all that counts.
He is banned from using the term never in doubt, or we'll cut him off, as we said earlier on. It is regular Tartan Army foot soldier. It is Ali Ross from The Sun. Good afternoon, Ali.
I'm not going to use Paul after that. You're not.
It would have been very tempting to have said, "Oh no, we were just managing the game." Yeah, it sounded. I mean,
lulled them into a false sense of security.
That's it. Then we hit them. But no, it's. I mean, look.
But to come back, go a goal down, and then come back the way.
Yeah,
that's great.
Once the first one, I'm not sure about cupping the ear to the crowd who were giving him the bird. Ryan Christie did that. That seemed a bit of an odd thing to, after the way they'd played. Yeah.
Yeah. The crowd were every right, especially the prices you pay to get into Hampden to let their feelings known. Hands up, I was not there last night. You have to pick your battles, Paul, and I've chosen Denmark for the last game.
Oh, well, I mean, you do. You tend to go on the road, which I can understand. It's kind of part holiday, part road trip, which I can understand. And you've probably been to Glasgow more than once. So, but it's interesting. Steve Clarke was, he just said, look, we got the result. It wasn't the greatest performance, but we move on. And ultimately, it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, there are a few red flags going forward. Certainly, if they end up going to the World Cup, you can't put in too many performances like that against good teams. But
the weird thing is, Greece are a good team.
Yeah.
I've seen the phrase about the Elgin marbles theft and grand larceny used more than once this morning.
Yes. What a save.
It's very. Yeah, they're a fantastic team, and but for the theatrics that they add to their performance, you'd feel really sorry for them. Because they left a couple of the best players on the bench as well. I think they've been suffering from illness. Konstantinos, the wee lad.
Yeah. The wee lad.
Yeah. I do struggle with those Greek names.
The Alan Brazil.
Peter Andre.
And the other thing, of course, that would have been hitting the papers today was Greeks bearing gifts after the third goal, the Lyndon Dykes. I mean, he just offers it up on a plate to him, doesn't he?
That did give me flashbacks to Hampden in the 70s.
I thought he was going to miss it. I mean, it was a strange effort from him. He could have just rolled it in. He took a great degree of difficulty with the shot he took.
Who? Lyndon Dykes?
Oh, yeah.
What, to sort of stick it in the roof of the net?
I thought it was going over the bar.
God, imagine that.
I bet you did
Neil
too.
McCann said afterwards that Lyndon Dykes is a big swinger, so you're worried.
Well, I never knew that.
In those circumstances.
But at 2-1, the save by Angus Gunn was sensational. I mean, that's a cliche to say it was in, but it was in. It was going in.
Yeah.
What a save. He's third choice at Nottingham Forest as well, so they must have some good keepers there, but they don't seem to be playing them. Yeah, fantastic. That would have changed the whole nature, not just of the game, but of the group as well, because we are for the moment masters of our own destiny.
Yeah, that's the great thing, isn't it? Because you beat Belarus at the weekend, and that is, I mean, depending on what happens in the Greece-Denmark game, but I mean, if it goes your way and Denmark get the result, that's them done. You've got a playoff place, haven't you?
Yeah, the big argument this morning being, do we want a draw in that game in Copenhagen, or do we just want Denmark to dispatch Greece? Because at some point, Denmark are going to need to be pegged back because the goal difference is not in our favour.
Right.
And at this moment, having seen the phrase Scotland made heavy weather of dispatching minnows a million times in my life, I would just take any victory on Sunday.
But have you booked? I know you like to book early in the Fred Ponting style. That's one for the teenagers. So,
I've not booked
the last
America
time
yet.
Fred Ponting got a mention on
Not often.
Sport.
So
not often enough.
No. So have you tentatively looked at hotels around the States yet? Are you going to wait for the draw? Because you are an optimistic Scotland fan. You often book ahead, don't you?
Oh man, I booked Cologne about 9 months in advance before we even qualified. We were that far ahead in the group. But America's a very different beast.
Yeah.
You 3 countries involved. So you're going to have to pick and choose, I think, with the fixtures if we did get to that stage. But
a lot of the games are going to be like 2:00 in the morning. They are because of the heat. Because of
well, if you're watching on telly, they won't be for Ali.
No, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Ali, that's good. Well, maybe we'll catch up next week when you're home and hosed, and we know how much. Maybe you can start tentatively getting on flight bookers.
God willing, Paul.
Yeah, good stuff. Good to talk to you as always. Enjoyed the column today as always. Ali's new column is out today. If you've been enjoying Celebrity Traitors, you can get Ali's take on it. So good to talk to you, Ali. Thanks very much.
And you, God bless, lads.
Ali Ross there from The Sun, their Star TV columnist. It is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT, and we've been seeing pictures today from Manchester, very moving pictures. You can see how much Ricky Hatton was not just loved by the people of the area, but so many people from sport and showbiz and so many different walks of life that he made friends in, including our very own Spencer Oliver, who has been at Ricky's funeral today. Good afternoon, Spencer.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Yeah, what a fitting tribute for a great human being in Ricky Hatton. I mean, look, the turnout here today was absolutely sensational. It shows what he meant to so many people. He touched so many hearts. He was the guy next door, and the fans' favourite. And I think that, it was a very emotional ceremony for sure, but one that I'll remember and treasure. It was a great day.
I mean, everybody from the world of boxing was there today, but then we saw Andrew Flintoff was there, and our old friend Chris Kamara was
friends
there.
in sport and friends in showbiz.
Yeah, Paddy McGuinness. Just so many people had turned out to pay their respects.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I was sitting with most of those guys. Wayne Rooney was there as well. Look, it just shows, like I say, you know, how big he was. Liam Gallagher was a big part of Ricky Hatton's career. He walked him in with the belts, and he was there today. And there was a lot of emotions flying around in there for sure. But yeah, it was a fantastic turnout. I can't actually believe that the streets were lined with people as well. Yeah, showed what Ricky meant to everyone.
Yeah, he was, you know, he was a great boxer, of course he was, but he was also a great British hero. So I think that's why people have reacted the way that they have.
Absolutely, Andy. I think that's what it is, that, you know, they relate to that. You know, it was a kid who was 16 and went to work with his dad as a carpet fitter. His dad said he was absolutely rubbish at that, so he had to get rid of that. The only thing he was actually good at was boxing. And I think that, you know, Ricky never forgot where he come from. You know, his feet were firmly on the ground, and I think that, you know, I think in this game you meet the same people on the way up as you do on the way down, and Ricky was that kid that, you know, never forgot where he come from, and I think the people just absolutely appreciated that. And that's how you see the turnout that he had here today as well. You know, like, the streets were packed. There were thousands of fans of Ricky's here to pay their respects, and I thought it was it was a beautiful tribute. It really was. It was very moving, and his son Campbell Hatton gave a lovely speech as well. Adam Smith, actually, he gave a lovely tribute, and yeah, it was lovely.
I would imagine that it's a sad day, but Ricky was a very funny bloke. He was always great value. He always had a quip. He always had a funny line to hand. So I'm sure, whether it was when everybody gets together, they'll probably go and have a drink and a bite to eat now and tell a few Ricky stories and have a laugh.
Yeah, trust me, guys, there is a lot of Ricky stories, and there'll be, you know, a lot of laughs along the way. There was actually some that broke out there today. You know, Adam Smith, you know, threw a bit of humour in there, as did Campbell Hatton as well. So we can't lose sight of that, and we can't forget the guy that Ricky Hatton was, and that guy was like a guy with a huge personality. People, you know, love to be around Ricky because, like I say, when he boxed Kostya Tszyu back in 2005, we remember that mad night, and it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I think everyone in there was a little bit intoxicated by that time, but I think that Ricky would probably had a pint with most of the people that actually turned up there. He was that guy that loved to, you know, he had 12 hard rounds, and he'd have 12 hard pints after he'd had those rounds, and that was with the people. Like, he used to like to go down to his local social club as well. He never forgot where he come from, and I think that was important.
And his final journey is the route. 18 months.
Started near his local, didn't it, in Hyde, and worked its way through the city.
Yeah, it did, and it was fantastic. Like I say, the fans were lined all the way through that journey as well, and it was not a short one. And we obviously watched him leave here, and that was very that was very moving as well. Liam Gallagher was there and sort of, you know, kissed the coffin before he went, and it was just a beautiful thing. It really was, and yeah, very, very emotional. It was a very emotional time because we've all had our moments with Ricky. We've all had our nights out with Ricky. You know, we've all got our stories of Ricky. Some of them actually you can tell, and some of them you can't tell. You know, that's pretty much where we were at with this guy. Some of them, yeah, you just you'd have to keep to yourself. But what a guy he was, what a character he was, and what a beautiful human being. And I'm just glad that we had the amazing send-off today, and the fitting tribute to Ricky Hatton, who will go down the hitman as one of the greatest to do it.
Thank you, Spencer. Thanks for joining us. All the best.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Yes, Spencer Oliver there up in Manchester for Ricky Hatton's funeral. And back in 2013, Ricky sat down for a conversation with Danny Kelly in My Sporting Life. And it's a fantastic listen. We've made it available as a tribute once again. Ricky, of course, reflects on his incredible career from his early days, as Spencer was just saying, as a sort of carpet fitter working for his dad, getting into boxing and coping with eventual retirement.
That series is great with Dennis.
Yeah, it's a very, very good conversation. I remember listening to it at the time. So that's My Sporting Life with Ricky Hatton and Danny Kelly, and you can find that on the talkSPORT Daily podcast feed if you'd like to have a listen back. It is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT, and tomorrow evening we are football free, Andy, and we are very much Super League focused.
Oh, very much so.
Because we have the grand final at Old Trafford between Hull KR and Wigan Warriors. We bring it to you live on talkSPORT. And Mark Wilson will be alongside a former Hull and Hull KR player. Don't often say that. Paul Cook, and Paul's going to join us to preview the big game in a few moments' time. As always, we are here with Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station. Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. And despite there being a playoff system in Rugby League, Super League, the top two teams will meet tomorrow evening at Old Trafford at 6 o'clock for the grand final prize. The shield's already been won by Hull KR. In fact, they've won the Challenge Cup as well. So they're going for the treble. Wigan, who won it all last season.
Only 5 teams have ever done this.
Yeah.
Before, so it's a big thing.
And Wigan, they face potentially finishing the season empty-handed after an historic season last season. So it's some matchup. Should be a pretty epic encounter. We're going to bring it to you live on talkSPORT with a build-up from 5, kick-off at 6. And joining us now, a man who played for KR and FC and wrote the book about it with our own Adrian Durham. It is Paul Cook. Hello, Paul.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. We're very much looking forward to the game, although it won't be. You don't sense it's going to be a tri-fest. The last couple of games between these two, Challenge Cup final and the league game, pretty tight affairs. There's normally 2-4 points between them, and you kind of see something quite similar tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, particularly in big games. But between the top two teams, defensively, both very, very good. I think last year's grand final was won 9-2 with 1 try scored by Bevan French, who'll be there again at the weekend. So, yeah, it promises to be a tight affair, that is for sure.
But it'd be great, maybe an early try just to open it up. I mean, because you're going to have a lot of eyes on the sport tomorrow because, as we said, there's no distractions. It is a great showcase. There's no Premier League football to take people's... So people think, OK, I'll go and check that out. So, I mean, it will be... If you like Rugby League, I'm sure you'll enjoy watching these two have a tussle, but a nice early try would be good, I think.
Yeah, to open it up, yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. If one team can get in front, then it obviously means the other team have got to chase and take more chances. So they'll certainly open the game up and become more of a spectacle. You're right. So yeah, I think it's fantastic that you're right. It's standalone. There's no distractions. All eyes will be on the game and on the sport. And you know, we're proud and privileged to be able to bring it to talkSPORT listeners.
Yeah, and the intensity in the early challenges will be amazing. It always isn't.
Yeah, that's how you've got to balance those out, though, haven't you? Because we've seen him.
We saw that infamous.
Yeah, Ben Flowers one. That's right. You can't get too carried away and go too heavy on the adrenaline early on, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to keep your emotions in check, and that's why the big players stay the calmest. You know, you're looking at, Jai Field at fullback for Wigan, the two halves in Bevan French and Harry Smith. And on the flip side of that, you got Arthur Morg, you got Minchella in the middle of the field for Hulkard, the captain, Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May. So they're going to have to keep calm heads when everyone else is running around with that adrenaline filled, and them forwards are trying to get the physical edge over each other. So yeah, it's usually the calmest players and the most composed players and teams win these big games.
And I mean, there hasn't been a lot of changes in the Wigan lineup. You would argue that. Are there more big game players in the Wigan lineup than in KR?
Well, they've been there and done it in this competition particularly. But Hull KR have obviously won the Challenge Cup this year and have finished top of the league in terms of being the most consistent team. So it couldn't be more evenly matched, if you like. I tend to agree with you, Andy. I think that... Paul, sorry, I agree. I think that Wigan have got that big game experience in this game particularly, so they'll draw on that. And OKR are trying to become a team which wins it for the first time. So it's going to be a really intriguing game, really intriguing.
And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, whoever picks up the Rob Burrow will tell us who's had the good day, whether it is Mikey Lewis, whether it is Bevan French, those kind of go-to players, those exciting players that tend to pick them up. Yeah, I mean, as you said, you just listed off some of the players that are playing. It's pretty mouth-watering stuff if you enjoy the game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's listing off the players that'll probably have the biggest influence on the game. They touch the ball more than anybody else. But there's a couple of big bodies in the middle. Jared Weir-Hargreaves plays his last game for Hull KR and last game as a professional player. He's miraculously got off a 3-game ban earlier on this week, so that adds a little bit of a sub-story to it and a second plot to it. You got Luke Thompson in the middle of the field there. Some big bodies that are going to go at it in the middle. It's not for the faint-hearted early on in the game, is it? Let's be honest. When the kickoff's kicked and the first carry's made by one of the big fellas off the back fence, then we know it's on.
I was going to say, just that Hull KR, obviously they won their semi-final against St Helens, and it's cost Paul Wellens his job. It seems quite harsh, really. But what did you make of that?
Yeah, it's a sad one for Paul. He's been at the club such a long time. I'm not sure where he was going to go with regards when you look at Christian Wolff, his predecessor, where he was the assistant to Christian who won all competitions, and then Justin Holbrook before him who came in and won all competitions. The only way was down for St Helens, so it was a hell of a job for him to take on. I think he's handled himself with great grace and dignity, never shied away from any media commitments, never shied away from the tough questions. I just think the club want to go in a different direction. I know Paul will be disappointed with this. There's no question about that. It's St Helens through and through, and it's a sad day. Nobody likes anybody when they lose the job, and nobody likes people to lose the job. But ultimately, St Helens is a club which is steeped in history and have been very successful over the last 10 years. And unfortunately, in the 3 years that Paul's been there, he's not managed to succeed and win trophies.
So, it's just finally, Paul, it sounds to me from what we've said, do you think Wigan might edge it?
I think they're in the better form, and I know that sounds stupid with Hull KR being top of the competition and the most consistent team, but they've sort of limped through the playoffs, and that gives Wigan an advantage to me. I was at the Wigan Hull KR game a few weeks ago with the broadcast company, and Wigan lost the game, but only lost it by 4, and I thought there that Wigan wouldn't be too disheartened by that. I think with Bevan French back and one or two other big players, Luke Thompson in the middle of the field, I think Wigan will be quietly confident. So you would probably just edge it to Wigan. I think the bookies make them favourites. But it wouldn't surprise me then if you back Wigan, particularly me backing Wigan, you probably should put your mortgage on Hull KR.
But that game sort of turns on a brilliant bit of play, doesn't it? From Mikey Lewis and Bevan French. And, that can always happen in a game, can't it? When you've got great players out there like that.
Yeah, individual players, pass the ball to them and let them go. I know that sounds stupid with such a structured game that we play and getting to points on the field and playing particular players. But when you've got French and Field in your lineup, then you just pass them the football and allow them to do what they do. They're so quick, evasive, strong. But on the flip side of that, Mikey Lewis is very similar with Hull KR, and they've got one or two players that have got their own X factor. Artemog, particularly at fullback, who scored a sensational try, in the games this year from his own end of the field. So there's players that are going to light up Old Trafford on Saturday, and it's going to be one hell of an occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope it stays 13v13 for the bulk of it as well. Nice one, Paul. We're looking forward to it. We look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye for now.
Paul Cook there is alongside Mark Wilson bringing you commentary of the Super League Grand Final tomorrow from Old Trafford.
Those in-goal areas at Old Trafford was a bit dodgy. They're so short. And
those run-offs. It's funny, you don't really notice it as much in football as you do in Rugby League for obvious reasons, because people are throwing themselves over it. But it's always a bit of a... Anyway, if you've not... you've got an opportunity if you don't want to watch Strictly, let's be honest, and you want to take in some brilliant sport.
Oh yeah, sure. I say to the wife, do you fancy the Rugby League rather than Strictly? I'm sure she'll really go for it.
I'm moving into the other room to watch the game. You're very, very welcome to join me. So there we are. That's tomorrow, and you can hear our commentary tomorrow with Mark and Paul, all the build-up from 6 o'clock start. However you watch telly, talking to telly, you can watch talkSPORT from Samsung and LG TVs to Fire TV, Chromecast and Apple TV, or just grab the app on Android TV or Google TV, or even on Prime Video. So that's talkSPORT live on your screen as well as your speakers. Clips of the week, Todd Macklin will have a chat with Stan Collymore as well, get his take on England last night, and all manner of other stuff to come in the next 2 hours.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Hawksbee Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Lots more to come between now and 4, but Toby Gillies is here with the sports headlines.
Thank you. Good afternoon. The people's champion, and that's how he'd want to be remembered. How Ricky Hatton's own mother described the hitman in a statement read on her behalf at his funeral in the last couple of hours. talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver was among the mourners.
There was a lot of emotions flying around in there for sure, but yeah, it was a fantastic turnout. I can't actually believe that the streets were lined with people as well. Yeah, showed what Ricky meant to everyone.
Some huge names from sport and music paid their respects at Manchester Cathedral after a cortege passed thousands of local fans on the way this morning.
Ricky was a very active member of our community, so we used to see him around, and he was active in charities, particularly mental health charities.
He had heart in him, didn't he? The heart for not for himself, but for people.
talkSPORT.com's the place for all the reaction to the emotional service today. Now, Stuart Pearce has told us Thomas Tuchel shouldn't expect a club atmosphere for England games at Wembley. Tuchel was upset at how quiet the place was when they were 3-0 up against Wales after 20 minutes last night, but Pearce reckons that's normal for the national stadium. Gerrard and Rangers, once a match made in heaven. Could it be once again? Looks like we're about to find out, as talkSPORT understands he is close to complete agreement to return to Ibrox. Here's the Sun's Scottish football writer, Bill Leckie.
One trophy out of 9, goes to Aston Villa, doesn't do particularly well, goes off to Saudi, not pulling up trees there. I'm not sure what the justification is for saying that this is the guy who comes in and turns things around for Rangers.
Meanwhile, the club's condemned what they call a shameful fire attack on the statue of former boss Walter Smith at Ibrox, with Police Scotland now investigating.
talkSPORT News.
The Israeli military says its troops have pulled back to lines in Gaza agreed under Donald Trump's peace plan. And a transgender woman has been jailed after hiding her male genitalia from a man that she was on a date with. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Today it's raining tyres in our centres, including top-notch brands like Pirelli. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Pretty cloudy for most, with some drizzle, but still relatively warm for mid-October.
Power on talkSPORT. Check out Paddy's latest offers on the Paddy Power app or at paddypower.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Yes, time now for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Graham Byrne, and we're going to be looking ahead to Sunday at Hampden Park. Huge game after that win against Greece last night. They take on Belarus. On the face of it, an altogether much easier game than yesterday evening. It's the Group C World Cup qualifier. Hi, Graham.
Gents.
So, it's probably worth explaining briefly how the Bet Builder works.
Yeah, we're putting together a scenario within a game to get ourselves a nice price, and the bet that we've put up between us comes to about 9-1.
Okay, I've gone for Dykes to score any time. He scored last night. He'll have his tail up. He'll be looking to score more, so I quite fancy him again against Belarus.
Yeah, and he's got a habit of scoring late goals, hasn't he? He got that late winner for Birmingham against Swansea as well. So he's in amongst the goals, and that's going to get our leg, hopefully, off to a flyer.
Fantastic.
I've gone 2 goals or more, haven't I?
2+, yeah. Scotland to score 2+ goals.
Yeah, no problem for the Scots scoring goals. They haven't conceded many either in this one. And Belarus are the minnows of the group. And it's a must-win game for Scotland. They're going really well, trying to get to their first World Cup since, I think, 1998. And it's must-win for them. And I fancy them to put a few past Belarus.
Now, I don't know if our producer Sean's got a vendetta against him, but he's gone Grant Hanley to be booked.
Yeah, he hasn't been booked in a while, to be honest. I was looking through his stats there, but he is getting on a bit. He's 33, playing at Hibs these days. So, yeah, Grant Hanley to commit a foul or more. I have to say, though, he's been keeping his nose clean lately.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
Going on what happened in the European Championships, isn't it?
The people, what have they gone with? This is both teams not to score.
Yeah, so this means only Scotland will score. Basically, Scotland will and Belarus will not score. This is what the people are saying. Belarus have only scored 1 goal in the group so far, and they're going to struggle. Scotland, I think, have kept 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
And Graham, you've gone for the man of the moment, haven't you?
Yes, McTominay, he's playing in the hole. He's central to everything good that Scotland are doing at the moment, and I'm hoping that he can get an assist because he's playing really well.
And you said 9-1 if these all come off.
9-1 it all comes to gents. Hopefully it will come in.
Fingers crossed. Nice one. Thank you very much, Graham. All the best.
Cheers, guys. Good evening.
Graham Byrne there from Paddy Power. That's Paddy's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. Check out Paddy's latest offers on the Paddy Power app or at paddypower.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Now, this is a cricket story that you alerted me to, Andy, and it did feel one of those sporting sign of the apocalypse type things. In Danbury in Essex, on the Dawson Memorial Field, or certainly in Danbury, whether it's on that field or not, but quite possibly, they've been playing cricket for about 200 years.
That is it, yeah.
And it's, like a lot of these sort of village greens, it's a sort of big centrepiece in the village. But no more. There are 3 teams that play on it, but they're not allowed to anymore because one person was struck on the leg by a ball. And from that, the full weight of the local council has come down on them and said there'll be no more cricket.
With a hard ball.
With a hard ball. If you want to play...
Yeah, in other words, there'll be no more cricket.
You want to play with a tennis ball?
Yeah, not
fine. Rory Carlton is the club secretary at Danbury Cricket Club. Hi, Rory.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
was there a complaint from this person to the council? Is that how it all kind of came about?
Yeah, essentially that's certainly that's the council's position. So, second game of the season, someone was allegedly, and I say allegedly because 22 people playing cricket didn't see this person get struck with a cricket ball.
Right.
But regardless, they made a report to the leisure centre that went up the line to the parish council and culminated after a summer of back and forth where cricket was suspended. At the end of September, all forms, as you just said, all forms of adult cricket with a hard ball have been banned from.
I hope that person's very happy with himself. How badly was this person hurt? Do we know?
As far as we're aware, they weren't injured. It was a rolling ball along the ground.
Oh, for goodness!
And hit them on the back of the leg. I actually don't think it was so much this person, his intention necessarily. At least I take a sort of generous view. I think this speaks more to bureaucracy, box ticking, risk management, and an overall approach to how we deal with risk in life.
I mean, village cricket has always been like this. As wherever you go across the country, you'll see kind of a square on a village green.
Even a Bunbury game, there were balls came into the crowd. That is cricket. You just got to keep your eyes.
That's if you're watching.
But if you're walking past or near a cricket pitch, you know that it's a hard ball. I don't know. It just had it happened before. Do we know if anyone else had a problem with it?
The fact is, so we've played on that field in living memory, so 70 plus years. We were trying to work it out the other day. We've got records of cricket being played in Danbury in 1799. So a long time. But in living memory, no member of the public, and this is the critical point, has ever been injured. A minor injury or a major injury from cricket being played. And so, in terms of how dangerous it is in that location, I would say negligible.
It seems a massively over-the-top response, doesn't it?
I was playing in a game once, and this has happened, I've seen this online as well, where Ian Ward, the ex-Surrey batsman, hit a great 6, and I thought, that's a great shot, and then it went straight through my car window. And I knew it was my car, and that's not great, and I was selling it the next day. So I just wonder if anything like that had happened. There'd been some sort of damage and somebody didn't
because you wonder if there's an agenda, really, if there's people in Danbury and who didn't want cricket played there or didn't like the disruption maybe of the traffic or noise, or does it feed into that? Had there been complaints?
Yeah, I think unfortunately that's probably the subtext behind all of this. What's quite interesting is that three of the councillors over the summer resigned because they had fundamental disagreements with the decision being made. We have, I'll be honest, car windows on occasion over the years have been smashed. People park their car there. We try and sort of say, look, this isn't the best place for you to park your car. There's a car park 50 metres down the road. So it does happen. They're all dealt with amicably. I'm not sure what the sort of true driver behind it is, but to me it looks, and everyone that's got in touch up and down the country, that this is the wrong decision.
Imagine being the council that have done this, made this decision. Are they happy with themselves? They go to bed at night and think, oh, good, we've ruined everybody's fun. We've ruined something that's gone on for 200 years. I don't understand these people, what they get out of life when they behave like this.
Do you have any right of appeal at all, Rory?
We raised an official complaint against the council, but that was assessed internally. We're considering all our options, and the best way really of, my only aim and goal is to get cricket back to Danbury. That's all I care about. So, we're reviewing everything, all of our options. We've had a lot of interest, the likes of yourselves today, which is fantastic. And it seems that, I'm yet to meet someone who says, oh no, I agree. They definitely did the right thing there. So hopefully common sense will win out.
So you've got this lovely green space in Danbury that's sort of lying dormant at the moment. I tell you, it won't be as well looked after as it was by everybody in the cricket community there. So that'll be a knock-on effect to this, I think, won't it?
Yeah, no, for knock-on effects, look, I've said this before, I think cricket it's the kind of cornerstone of village life for many villages that are lucky enough to have a cricket team. And, the amount of families coming down throughout the summer, buying a pint, sitting on the outfield, watching the game, whether it's for 10 minutes or a few hours, and speaking to residents across the village of Danbury, they're pretty annoyed, to put it politely, about this. I think it's a real loss to the village and the village life.
Well, look, we wish you well. We hope they see sense and you can be back there and you and the other teams back there playing cricket again. Rory, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, chaps. Thank you very much.
Rory Carlton there from Danbury Cricket Club, the club secretary.
Anybody from the council's listening, well done.
Yeah.
Hope you're happy with yourselves.
It is a quite staggering story, isn't it, really?
Pathetic, basically. But there you go.
It's Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collymore joining us later on. But the boys from the band The Claws will be popping in to see us in a moment. There's a bit of Villa and Celtic fandom between them. And we'll be chatting to the fellas and playing some of their music very, very shortly. We're here, as always, with Tool Station, ready to help at over 580 stations nationwide. Next stop, Tool Station. That is the Claws, a Birmingham band, and Tell Me What You Want. And the boys from the band have joined us in the studio. Piers, Johnny, Liam, and Niall. Good afternoon, gents.
How are you?
Good to see you. We have an interesting. We have 2 Villa fans, a Birmingham City fan, and a West Ham fan. Does that ever cause problems in the band, Piers, at all, or not?
Only on match days, isn't it? But the Villa haven't played Blues in a good long while now, innit? So
yeah. Could be getting closer though, when all that money's coming in, couldn't it?
I mean, it's been a bit grim in the van when we're Saturday on the way to a gig and you're in the Champions League.
Yeah,
kind of time to put the headphones in, man. Do you know what I mean? Just zone out for a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, poor old Niall.
Ham quite quiet.
That's right. The West Ham fan Niall in the corner, he's saying nothing at the moment. Must be quiet in the van a lot when. Yeah,
we're having a bit of a rough patch at the minute.
So why are you all from Birmingham, fellas? Yeah?
We are, yeah, all born and bred in and around Brum. So
right. So why West Ham for you then, Niall?
So my dad lives in Romford.
So
we've been West Ham fans. We go down every 2 weeks when there's a home game.
Oh right, okay, fantastic.
The three of you went to school together, is that right?
Yeah, myself. Johnny and Niall went to St Peter's in Solihull, just outside of Brum. So,
same school as Jack Grealish.
It is, yeah. He was about 4 or 5 years maybe above us in school. So
was he the star player though? Was he a bit of a hero then when you were like, you know?
Yeah, I remember going to watch. A school play like just before I joined the school, and he was playing. I think it was like he would have been in like year 8 or something then.
Yeah,
and, it's just stupidly.
Did he have the little shin pads? Even then?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he used to. He was just a star. I don't think he was in school past year 9, but he also used to play. He used to play Gaelic football.
Oh yeah.
Like against the team that I play for. So
right.
It's like just in every sport. Like he was.
Yeah, he was a sport Billy.
Yeah.
So, you good players? Any of you boys? Have you got the makings for decent 5-a-side players? Or
no,
could there be a Claws team?
No, Pierce does. Yeah, we've done that soccer 6 a couple of times, and a few of us just go for the day out more so than the.
But he takes it seriously.
Oh mate, yeah, we nearly split up over it. Yeah. I'm not the best loser. Yeah. No, to be fair, like we did all right. But I play a bit of football. But I play Gaelic as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, for a team called Shaw Max back in Birmingham. So
right,
that's
so is there a kind of decent sort of GAA? They have the hurling there as well.
There is, yeah. Hurling not so much in and around Warwickshire, but there's a big Gaelic football scene in it. So
it's a good game, isn't it?
It's a great sport. It's not kind of been, tampered with the way football has in the past couple of decades.
Yeah. Don't you have to be careful though in the band? I mean, you sort of do your hands or something. We have to be.
I've been all right as of yet. I've never had a proper injury. But saying that, this Sunday, I'm going to be bandaged.
So how did were you all sort of schoolmates? Is that how the band came about, or?
Yeah. It's we were all from different friendship groups when we were kids, really at school, and somehow found each other in a practice room at lunchtime and ended up just playing a couple of covers together of our favourite bands.
Can you remember what's the first song you all played together? Can you remember that?
I think it was something. I think it was probably "I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor."
Oh, okay.
That was. Yeah, I mean, I joined late. I used to do a naughty cover like Kings of Leon as well, didn't you? Did we? I don't remember that. Yeah, what was it? What was the tune by Kings of Leon?
Use Somebody.
Oh,
no. Okay.
It's tragic.
And why the Claws? How do you get the name?
Mate,
the name?
We should point out it's CLAUSE, not CLAWS.
Yeah. Between that and the Birmingham accent, it's really hard to relay our name on stage. Now we were doing little gigs in school, and then when we left school, like we had a really embarrassing name when we were in school, and when we left school,
you can't leave it like that. Yeah. What was the embarrassing name?
When we were.
Have you blocked it out?
Disclaimer: like we were like 12 when we made it up, but we.
No way, you did it.
Yeah, you did it. I won't even know. You're taking that. Yeah,
what was it?
We were called Rock Paper Scissors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit Phoenix Nights. Though.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, but then when we started to try and spread our wings, we were like, we can't carry on like this. So
good name for a trio.
Yeah, maybe.
It's claiming like you're Dave Rock, he's Mike Paper, and Steve Scissors. Together we are. Yeah. So what are the influences, fellas? What's the sort of stuff? Would you say? I mean, we played a little bit there, and we're going to play a Alicia on the way out in a moment. So, what are your influences, would you say?
I think they vary, really. Like, at our heart, we're, indie rock and roll kids.
Yeah.
So, we grew up on the likes of, Oasis, Arctic Monkeys, and all them bands just kind of, bred us into what we are today. But yeah, just classic British indie rock and roll.
And what do you play, Piers? What's your thing?
I try and sing.
Right. Do you play an instrument?
Yeah, I play the guitar as well.
The guitar.
I play the guitar as well.
Johnny, you are
bassist.
You're bassist. Okay.
I'm guitar and definitely
You're guitar
not
and drums there.
On the drum,
in the corner. So you've been doing a lot of festivals and stuff. So that was the new track we played, wasn't it, at the top?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've had a busy year. Our debut album's out 2 weeks today, actually. Yeah, on the 24th. So it's been it's coming to a head now of about 8-9 years of work just to get to this point, and it. So yeah, it's a big thing for us. But this summer's been a little bit wild, hasn't it? We've been to places and played places that if you'd have told us that at 16 when we left school, we'd have probably said, like, what are you smoking? But it's we're there now. So
and you met up with Jack apparently at one of the Oasis gigs. You saw him there.
We did, yeah. We were luckily invited down to watch the gig, and we met Jack there, and a couple of other people as well who we had a good night out with. Joe Cole, Carlton Cole, and Wayne.
Just a lot of people called Cole.
Yeah, exactly.
Was Ashley there?
Nah, unfortunately not. But Wayne Bridge as well, like, who were proper spot on guys.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really spot on guys.
So the album's called Victim of a Casual Thing, and we played Tell Me What You Want just then. And
new single.
You're doing some in-store stuff around the country, and then you're touring yourselves. You've got your headline tour throughout November and December. So where can people go and find all the details of the dates and buy tickets?
Yeah, clause.co.uk.
Clause.co.uk, but CLAUSE. We want to make that very clear. And fantastic. And so we were going to play Alicia then. Lovely to see you, fellas. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks so much for having us.
We wish you well for the future.
And thanks a lot, man. It's great.
Enjoy the rest of the season. You must be a bit more upbeat. Ollie Watkins' knee seems all right. They got him off just in case.
I was worried last night when I seen that, but fingers crossed, because
I wonder if it was embarrassment. I wonder, because you've missed an open goal, you think, I'll just clutch me knee for 5 minutes.
He's a bit unlucky.
Nah, he was. He'll get back to form, man. We've got faith.
He always misses those open goals, though.
He scored it.
Yeah.
He scored the hardest goal in the world and miss an open net.
And Blues on their way up. You're expecting the derby next year?
No, I don't think next year. I think it will take us
another
more.
year.
But yeah, it's definitely in the right direction, isn't it? So.
And you're feeling a bit happier now about Nuno? You've got a bit more positive?
I think so, yeah. I mean, hopefully we can get back towards our mid-table position out of the relegation.
You've got to dare to dream, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, good to see you, lads. Thanks very much.
Our pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
The clause there, and we will play out with another track from the new album, Victim of a Casual Thing, that's out in a couple of weeks' time. Alicia.
Thousands of people have lined the streets of Manchester to pay tribute to Ricky the Hitman Hatton. His funeral procession travelled from his gym in his hometown Hyde up to Manchester Cathedral, where a private funeral's being held for him. One of those who turned out was the legendary commentator Ian Darke, who spoke with talkSPORT.
I think he stands, in the history of this, famous sporting city, alongside the sort of sporting royalty of Sir Alex Ferguson, George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law.
These fans watched as the procession passed them.
Two-weight world champion, never changed. He was always the same person that he always were.
Just a massive character. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't follow boxing, you know the name Ricky Hatton.
Now, it's our understanding that Steven Gerrard returning to Ibrox is close to being agreed. It's already met with Rangers hierarchy in London on Thursday, where they held what are described as positive talks. Now, I've been hearing from Morgan Rogers, who continued to stake his claim for the England number 10 shirt with a goal and an assist against Wales. He says it's no bad thing to be fighting with the likes of Bellingham, Foden and Palmer for that position.
Every player will be breathing down each other's necks and the competition will be high, and that's what we want as an England squad. That's what we want as a nation going into a tournament. You want people competing for places, you want different options, and I think that's what we got. So I'm just going to keep pushing and see where it takes me.
You can hear Latvia against England live on talkSPORT on Tuesday.
Just before we chat to Stan Collymore, get his take on last night, let's hear from Bukayo Saka. Scored a cracking goal, of course, in that 3-0 win over Wales, and he talked us through it.
Felt good when it left my foot, and obviously when I looked up and I saw where it was, great feeling, Yeah, it felt amazing. One of the best team performances I've been a part of in an England shirt. The first 35 minutes, I'd say, we were like a pest. We were almost unstoppable at times, and the way we're moving the ball, when we counter press, win it back. It felt like, every time we had the ball, we could score. And yeah, I felt it was a very, very good team performance, one that we can be proud of and continue to build on.
There we are, Bukayo Saka. Stan Collymore joins us now, former England striker. Hi, Stan.
All Andy, how are you?
Not so bad. Let's start with the contentious bit, shall we? The crowd business. I don't quite know what he was getting at, considering it was a friendly and it was 3-0 after 20 minutes. What was your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, England fans travelled, the length and breadth of the country to get to London, particularly Wembley, which we all know is quite difficult to get in and out of at the best of times if you're going back to the northeast, the northwest. But they still support the team in huge numbers and have done for many, many years. I just had a look, actually. It was kind of... this isn't a new phenomenon. Roy Hodgson was asked about low attendances back in, I think, 2014. And he said, we'll find it hard to bring back attendances because the opponents were playing won't excite the public. And with the greatest respect to Wales, and it's the second or third oldest international football match, of course, because the home unions played each other, the home associations played each other very early on in the development of the game, is that Wales aren't a massive game. They're not going to light a fire in the English public imagination. So if you're Welsh, if you're Northern Irish, if you're Irish, if you're Scottish, you're going to turn up to Wembley. There's going to be 5, 6, 7, 10,000 of you, and they're going to make a lot of noise. And that's going to be at contrast. We all remember, you would remember as well as anybody, 1977, the Scots came down, took over half of Wembley, took the goalposts and the nets with them. Yeah. And England fans at Wembley, in my lifetime, the only time that they've been really raucous was probably Euro '96. And the sort of whole sort of, you know, the reclaiming of the St George's Cross as a sort of, because before that England fans took Union Jacks away, you know, on the cars at Euro '96, those little flags. And there was a real momentum building because we were playing top quality opposition, beat the Dutch, the Spanish, etc., etc. So I don't know what he's coming at. I think he would have been poorly advised from the media team, because I think that firstly, you don't have a pop at your own fans. Secondly, it's universally known that England fans that go away are loads noisier than the home support. And the home support at the old Wembley and the new Wembley, bar the odd game, is, you know, it's a big bowl of a stadium. It's not generating the kind of noise that, you know, Germany when they're playing Dortmund, or Spain when they're playing Seville, these kind of out of the capital cities. So yeah, I found that a bit of a bizarre pop, to be fair, when if you're an England fan and you go to Wembley regularly, you know the atmosphere isn't always that great. So what?
You like some of the other stuff he's saying about the team, though, Stan, don't you?
Yeah, loved it. I mean, I think the fact that he's basically saying you've got to earn your place back in the squad, I think is huge. You know, the likes of Elliot Anderson that grows by the game. He's had a bit of a difficult few weeks in terms of his performances for Forest, haven't hit the benchmark of his England ones, for example. But I think this is really important to keep telling players that are playing for their clubs, look, you came into the squad last time and you played well, so you're going to keep your place. And it also tells the likes of Jude Bellingham, look, Jude Bellingham will get into the England squad. He'll get into the England team. We know he will, as long as he's fit and as long as he's healthy. But it does add that little bit of tension whereby you've got to earn it a little bit. There's going to be no gimmies. Elliot Anderson coming in, playing 3 really good games, isn't going to get biffed off back to Nottingham Forest, and Jude Bellingham comes in having barely played a minute of club football. So I think that's really important. And what you're seeing, Paul and Andy, and I'm sure you agreed with particularly the first 30 minutes of the performance last night, is that players that have now been comfortable with, we're going to continue to give you an opportunity to play, they were the ones that shone, particularly in that first half an hour at Wembley last night.
Absolutely, yeah, Rodgers and Anderson.
I'm interested in one of your points, though. Rodgers v Bellingham, choice at 10 come the World Cup, or both. And it's interesting that, because I do think that is where we've gone wrong in the past. I think you have to have the team, and you've got one number 10, and you can only play that one, and the other one's on the bench. And he comes on if that one isn't doing it. I think to try and shoehorn them in, that's... I'll
be going back to the bad old days of Gerrard and Lampard.
I would agree, but only to a point. Morgan Rogers is a very good ball carrier, and I think he's a better ball carrier than Jude Bellingham. And if he's going to play 3 in midfield, look, there might be a place for Wharton. There might well be a place, you know, Tuchel might have already decided Elliot Anderson's going to be the guy in the hub, and I'm going to let Declan Rice off the leash a little bit further forward. And I'm going to, when Bellingham comes back, he's going to get further forward. But I think to play both of them in some sort of friendly would be a really good experiment, because you could either have Rice sit in, with Bellingham being able to do all roles. He can get forward and he can get back. Let me forget that Jude Bellingham, prior to being this kind of number 10 for England and for Real Madrid, you know, he can cover a ground, and his tackling is absolutely superb a lot of the time, comes away with the ball fresh and clean. Is that Morgan Rogers can do something that Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham can't, and that is take the ball midway through the opponent's half at pace, from his feet, committing players, free kicks, etc., to then either play a 1-2 off a forward or get a shot on target. So if you're playing 3 in midfield, I can't see why Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and Morgan Rogers wouldn't play together. Now, that would be, at the moment, a bit controversial in the fact that as we mentioned, Elliot Anderson has come in. But we're going to need lots of options, 2 or 3 that have played together. Yeah, we know what they can do. We know what they look like. So with the remaining games that England have left in, let's be honest, a group that we're going to qualify from now, the Serbia game was the most difficult one. And then only a couple of friendlies post-season before the World Cup. I'd at least like to see Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and Morgan Rogers have a go together and see what they could do. Because I think that, I'll take your point on board, Andy, about them both being 10s. but they're very different. And I think that Morgan Rogers can carry the ball and go past people at his best in a way that Jude Bellingham or Declan Rice can't necessarily.
I think a fit Cole Palmer's got to be on the bench minimum. I mean, he's a world-class player.
Yeah.
He showed it in that.
I mean, this is the thing. And we've got, an embarrassment of riches, but it's making it all work.
I should just say, Stan, that I had read an interview with Martin Tyler this morning, and he says, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, that the Aguero moment isn't his favourite moment of all time. His favourite moment of all time.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Is Collymore closing in.
I know. If I had a penny for every time that when I'm out and about somebody mentions that, it's funny when I go up to Newcastle. I go up to Newcastle relatively regularly these days, and I get, I mean, Geordie's got the most beautiful accent as well, and they're very sort of blunt, and they all go, "You broke our hearts, Bonnie lad." And I still get it. Still absolutely get it. Liverpool fans, of course, there's loads of them across the world. But what Martin Tyler probably didn't tell you is that when we were doing the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, with talkSPORT, and we were doing comms, so it was Jim Proudfoot and I, and we went up in a lift, and Martin Tyler and Faustino Asprilla were in the lift. So Martin's kind of, trying to explain to him, I'm Martin Tyler, I did the commentary that game. And there was somebody who could translate sort of Asprilla's Spanish. And he pointed at me and basically said, "You cost me a league title winners medal because of that game." Because obviously neither of us, Liverpool nor Manchester United, Liverpool nor Newcastle won the league. We opened the way for Manchester United. But yes, Martin, lovely guy, still one of the great commentators. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to hear when somebody's, commentated on hundreds, maybe thousands of football matches for that to be the favourite.
He does mention the Tino Sprilla story, funnily.
Yeah, wow. You should have a read. What's it in today?
I read it in the Star, but it's in the Star and the Mirror.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're all for giving or for Declan Rice keeping the armband, Stan?
I am, and I'm not, again, it's not going to happen. But if you look at Bayern Munich, it's Manuel Neuer's the skipper, isn't he? 39-year-old veteran these days. And Harry Kane, as we know, is having a wonderful season. Now, he's had a wonderful season, whether he's been captain for club or for country. But he does seem to be playing. And, of course, he's been asked, do you want to come back to the Premier League? Well, actually, now I'm doing really well. I'm loving it here. I just wonder whether the extra 10% of pressure of being the captain of your country, going to a World Cup, and he's not got many more left. Let's be perfectly honest. There's not many more big tournaments that he's going to be in. Whether Declan Rice, that's very, very able as a captain, stood up to the plate yesterday. You could see he loved it, enjoyed it, embraced it, added extra things to his game, talking to people, shouting, rattling cages. Whether just letting Harry Kane be the Harry Kane of Bayern Munich this season might be a little trick up the sleeve of Thomas Tuchel, because there's no doubt that he does carry captaincy well. He's one of those guys that would get Club Man of the Year, whoever he played for. But I think in a tournament that could well be his last World Cup, I would let him off the leash and go, no more worrying about you going into presses, Harry. No more worries about, are you jogging around? Are you dropping too deep? Are you pinging balls left, right and centre? Declan can answer those. You go and score goals.
Yes.
We've only got a minute left, but let's do a bit on Wales. You weren't massively impressed with the way Craig Bellamy sent them out.
No, I mean, he got the big up, didn't he? I watched the TV coverage because I didn't get to Wembley, and it was kind of like, his relationship with Sir Bobby Robson and players and managers that he's worked with, and it was all great.
Yeah, so that was good.
But it's kind of like, we want to get here, we want to compete. You can't go and play against an England team that is still a good England team and not press and be disjointed and let them go 2 or 3-0 up in quick time. They've got an important game, of course, on Monday. There's still some qualification left. Hopefully they'll have learnt the lesson, because I would love to see Wales at a World Cup in my lifetime. I'd love to see all the home nations. But that was an incredibly naive, let's go for it first 15, 20 minutes. And it spectacularly blew up in his face.
Yeah. Back to the bread and butter of the Premier League next week, Stan. We'll catch up with you then. Thanks very much.
Up the goal scorer in England, Villa.
Indeed. Yeah, they're back. Villa are back. It didn't take long. Cheers, Stan. Thanks a lot. Stan Collymore there. And Robert Earnshaw's going to join us a little bit later on. We're talking about captain hindsight. It's quite interesting. I've seen quite a lot of Wales fans saying, fancy playing England before a big game like that. And I'm thinking, yeah, you can look at it like that now.
They were talking about this on Drive yesterday, though, saying, was it the best idea? This is pre-match.
Yeah, but what? I mean, look, until you play the game, they could have gone out there and given a decent account of themselves. I mean, most Wales fans think they've got a decent side now. Whether all of them would have backed them, not going to beat England, even if they'd lost 2-1.
The approach, it was a strange approach.
It was.
The way they played in the second half is the way I thought they'd play the whole game.
In hindsight, it feels damaging, and there will be some concerns going into the Belgium game now that maybe wouldn't have been there had they played lesser opposition last night. But if it had just been a routine, they'd say, well, that doesn't sharpen us up for Belgium. It's really all, in hindsight, isn't it? Rob Earnshaw, former Wales striker, is going to join us and give us his take on that and how it may feed into Monday's game against Belgium. Before that, though, we'll have some of Andy's nonsense by numbers.
Oh, yeah, good.
And we're going to find out more about this Manchester United investment that Turki Al-Sheikh sort of let slip yesterday. So he understands it's major investment. I mean, I don't know if the word takeover has been used. I think it may have done, which seems at odds with what Jim Ratcliffe was saying the other day. But anyway, we'll get the strength of that. And also, Ivan Toney possibly coming back to the Premier League in January. We'll get the strength of that and more with Ben Jacobs just after 3. Clips of the week at 3:30. We're here with Toolstation, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next stop, Toolstation. Yeah, stay tuned for a little bit of Manchester United chat and this talk about investment takeover, what you will. And Ben Jacobs, who keeps a close eye on what goes on in Saudi, will be joining us to chat about that just after 3. In the meantime, Andy has lots of bits and pieces that he collates, of course, and he's got reams of it. And he's now.
I've got a couple of the day, and then I've got my numbered.
Do you want to do one of the day?
Well,
Super the day.
One of them's a Linford letter, and even by his standards,
this is we have a listener in Newcastle who loves the Brian Linford letters.
Yeah.
This is a guy who writes to the Star. He writes in capital letters.
Yeah, no capitals today.
Strange. Okay, no capitals. So no shouting.
No shouting.
But there's no punctuation. It's all stream of conscience. It's like Samuel Beckett, as we often say.
Big into forward slash today.
Oh, okay. A lot of forward slashing.
Ridiculous.
Okay. All right, then. Take it away.
Here we go. BBC staff have missed 2,000 days in a year over mental health, 1/5 of total sickness last year. The average sick leave in Britain is 9.4 days PA. BBC 6.7 is lower, caused by prog cuts / a 700M black hole / redundancies / job cuts, even affecting Newsnight's stricter rules service, managing leave / taxes, tending events, scandals G / Berry and MasterChef have not helped.
What an entertaining letter, and I can understand why.
Honestly,
that turned up in a BBC report. You could understand
none of it.
Why did the Star publish it?
I don't know. I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr's in the paper today.
Is he? Yeah, what's he up to?
He's looking fantastic at 85, but I wish I was his hair dye supplier.
Really? Do you think it's dyed?
Oh, God. No man of 85 could have hair that dark.
What colour is it? Is it so black it's blue?
There it is.
Ah.
He doesn't go for the Cesare Maldini, the Auburn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And talking of hair, column fodder, one of my favourite columnists in the Mail on Sunday.
That's not what it's called, is it?
No, that's what I call it.
This is a column that you think is money for jam.
Well, it is. It's just always about... She just writes about her life, but in a way that you think, OK, I don't care about this at all. Yesterday, she said, I visited my hairdresser, George Northwood. Who cares?
Georgie Northwood?
King of the Tong. Apparently.
He'll do you a good dye job, Andy, if you want to go there. Give you the Ringo Starr look.
No, he's made a successful career, apparently, creating wavy and red carpet hair.
Red carpet hair?
That's what she's put here.
That's not the hair that's kind of quite carpety and red. It means the sort... Your hair's great when you go on the red carpet. Yeah.
For Alexa Chung, Stella McCartney and countless others. I asked him whether he thought we'd reached peak tong. I don't know if that's a joke. I think it's quite funny.
We've reached peak tong.
I don't know if she meant that.
I'm with you. Yeah, that's good.
He says, George, the trick is to tong without it looking tonged. I think it means putting some kinks and definition to frizzy.
Oh, does he do Ray Davies's hair as well? That's good. That's quite Auburn these days.
Without it appearing deliberate, which is what he proceeded to do to me.
Yeah.
I eagerly watched him at work, but suspect, like so much advice offered in the salon chair, it's not as easy to achieve at home.
I'm looking up George Northwood, the hairdresser.
Honestly.
Yeah. Let's have a look at George. He looks like a nice lad. Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
Young fella, glasses.
Love the publicity.
Bit of stubble. There he is, and there's a picture of him. He began his hairdressing career. And we're doing a deep dive on Georgie Northwood now, aren't we? Began his hairdressing career 20 years ago. He has an instinctive understanding and feel for hair, apparently.
If I was the editor of the Mail on Sunday, half of it would go in the shredder before it even hits the light of day. But there we go.
He's he's not a million miles away from you, Andy. If you can get yourself to Holland Park, he's over that way, not a million miles away.
Yeah, I don't think
That's one of his salons.
I haven't got a lot to tong, have I, really? Let's be honest.
No, you'd burn your scalp, wouldn't you? Get the tongs out of that. Definitely.
It would be a disaster.
Yeah.
Anyway, think of a number from 1 to 133 that you haven't thought of before.
Is this your card? 109.
Oh, that sounds like a new one, 109.
Okay, 109. Here we go. What you got? We're now going into the vaults.
Oh, this is a hotter than. Because this is a thing where they have to come up with... They can't just say it's going to be hot today.
No.
They have to say...
You need a comparison.
106 was hotter than Africa. 109 is it'll be hotter than the Med.
What will be?
The UK.
Oh, okay. We should point out not today if anybody's going to go out without a coat on. This was about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. That's that.
Hotter than the Med. That's just lazy journalism.
They say colder than and hotter than because you can't work out whether it's hot or cold.
Okay. 43. Have I done 43?
No, I don't think so. Let's have a look. 43. Let's see, 53.
Yeah.
That's no good. Where's
43?
38. Here we go, 43.
43, here we go. Might be the last
it's another letter from Linford.
Oh, no, we have another one. Okay, 44.
44. 44.
44.
40, where is 44?
Oh, wait, hopefully next to 43, if that's your filing system.
Oh, no, here we go. 44.
Yeah.
It's a marriage announcement.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a very strange. There's a lot of people in attendance.
Okay.
I don't know. Mr. AAD Dykstra and Miss S.N. Molson got married. It took place on the 20th of September at All Saints Church between August and Natasha.
Yeah.
Is that a place? The bride was attended by Miss Louisa Molson, Lucas Brassi, Casper Brassi.
Lots of Brassies.
I know. Allegra Del Bono.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence
my old mate Allegra
Dykstra
Del Bono.
And Atticus Molson, which is a lot of people, isn't it?
A lot of people.
It's a lot of people to be
A lot of
attending.
Molsons. What was the other name?
I don't know what beer they drank at the do.
That's fantastic. A nice Canadian lager. So that'll do, Andy.
All right, good.
Just time to tell you that this Saturday an explosive clash in Sheffield takes place between the Molsons. No, it's not, of course. Between Dave Allen and Arslanbek Magmadov. And looking to move one step closer to a big-name matchup. Later that night in Philadelphia, Jaron Ennis takes on IBO World Champion Isma Lima. And that one's live this Saturday only on DAZN. And you can hear the Dave Allen fight live on talkSPORT. Straight after the sports headlines, we're going to be talking Manchester United, Ivan Toney returning, and other matters besides. We'll have the clips of the week, we'll have Tom Macklin's American Sports Roundup, and all manner of other stuff as well.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Yes, stick around for the clips of the week at 3:30. Tom Macklin and a bit of Manchester United chat and that takeover talk after Toby Gillies with the sports headlines.
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon. Ricky Hatton's son has told his dad's star-studded funeral congregation he can't explain how much he's going to miss him. Campbell Hatton follows the hitman into boxing and says he'll cherish the memories they made together. The likes of Liam Gallagher, Wayne Rooney, Freddie Flintoff and some of boxing's great and good, like Fury, Bruno and Tony Bellew were there.
He's the standard. Everything he does, whether it was strength and conditioning with Kerry Cage, whether it was body bag with Billy, whether it was jumping a bar, he was the standard.
Loads of in-depth reporting and photos from the hitman's funeral in Manchester are on the website, talksport.com. Now, is Thomas Tuchel deluding himself, asking England fans to make a racket at Wembley? One ex-captain reckons it's going to stay quiet.
It's pretty normal for Wembley, but you wouldn't say it was normal for a club game, if you like, you know, and I half get his point, you know. I think Wembley is a sort of corporate occasion as much as anything else in many ways.
That's Stuart Pearce speaking to H&J, responding to Tuchel's jibe at the supporters last night, questioning their support when England were 3-0 up against Wales after 20 minutes. A punishment for Arsenal from the FA today for breaching ticket rules for last season's FA Cup third-round tie with Man United. They refused to provide United with the required 15% of the tickets issued and have been handed a suspended £500,000 fine. And Pat Cummins might yet be fit for the start of the Ashes. Aussie coach Andrew McDonald says they've not given up hope that the skipper's back injury will clear up in time for November the 21st.
talkSPORT News.
The Israeli military says its troops have withdrawn to an agreed boundary in Gaza as part of a ceasefire deal with Hamas, and an Afghan migrant has been found guilty of making a threat to kill Nigel Farage in a TikTok post. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Pretty cloudy for most with some drizzle, but still relatively warm for mid-October.
Good afternoon, it's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We're in the final hour today. Tom Mackley will join us with his American sports roundup. Jerry Jones is in trouble, the Cowboys owner. He chose the wrong digit and it cost him $250,000.
Rubbish.
They don't mess about with
wrong one.
They don't mess about with their fines in American sport. That's one of many stories we'll be bringing you. One featuring our old friend Phoebe Schechter as well, of the coach and pundit that often pops up on talkSPORT and Sky. So we'll bring you more of that a little bit later on. Clips of the week, and Rob Earnshaw joins us, former Wales striker, to look back on last night from a Welsh point of view, feeding into their big game against Belgium, the World Cup qualifier on Monday, and whether that will have any effect. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh has often put the cat amongst the pigeons in the world of boxing, but he has been talking about football, and more specifically Manchester United, hinting at big investment in the club, leading people to feel that there could be a takeover afoot. We thought we would dig a bit deeper into that story with our man who keeps a close eye on that region, Ben Jacobs. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you. I mean, obviously, Turkey, I think, an incredibly well-connected man in that part of the world, so you do sense there is some substance to this. What have you been hearing subsequently?
Yeah, you have to sit up and take notice when Turki Al-Sheikh says things, but also go in knowing that those comments may need to be taken at times with a pinch of salt. Let's not forget he photoshopped a photo of Mo Salah in an Al Hilal shirt, and 2 weeks later he stayed at Liverpool. And crucially, as Al-Sheikh has now clarified, this potential investor is not from Saudi Arabia, nor is it from Qatar. And my understanding, as we revealed yesterday on talkSPORT, is the group in question are from the UAE. And although Al-Sheikh said that talks are advanced, and that may be the case internally, as the group potentially prepare a bid, there's been no approach yet to anyone at Manchester United, including the Glazers. So we'll have to wait and see whether this develops. What's interesting is there's a so-called drag-on clause, and what that means in layman's terms is now, and since August, if the Glazers get an offer that they like and they choose to sell, they have the ability to drag along, or more accurately, drag out Sir Jim Ratcliffe if the entity wants to buy 100% of the football club, which means that although Jim Ratcliffe is in control of the football side, at the same time, the Glazers could be independently seeking some kind of investment or even looking for a way out. So the UAE group is one to watch. They've approached some ex-Manchester United legends, but at this stage, they haven't actually made any form of bid.
What about the timing of this?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's odd that Jim Ratcliffe agreed to that without wanting first refusal. I mean, to buy it himself. Obviously, he might have to raise a bit of money, or not. But I mean, it seems odd that he'd agree to this, where he could just be investing all his time and effort into it, and then suddenly the Glazers get a good offer, and that's all right. You walk away with a lot of money, but the whole project will have gone.
I think the more we learn about this deal, the more it's obvious that the Glazers negotiated it in a perfect way for themselves. And I'm in Portugal at the moment at a sports conference, and there's several investors here, and all of them independently that I've spoken to have said, this is why the Glazers got the best imaginable deal, because they have their cake and eat it. They are the majority owner at the football club. If they want to sell 100%, Ratcliffe has to go out with them or match the offer. And at the same time, until things go right, Ratcliffe has the limelight on him and will be the one that's scapegoated on the sporting side. And if things do go right, the Glazers can still take the credit.
I mean, what about the timing of this from the Glazers' point of view? Would this seemingly be a good time to sell? They still make an awful lot of money from Manchester United. Under Jim Ratcliffe, if his plans come off, the club will be worth even more money. So what about that, Ben?
I think it all depends on whether the projected value of a new stadium and the Old Trafford regeneration can be factored in, and someone's prepared to pay now a price that ultimately gambles on the fact that on the field Manchester United will be restored to their glory, and off the field the club will be modernised. And this is why the Glazers, knowing all that might happen, were asking in the original sale process for in excess of 5 billion. And I think that their valuation with that new stadium in mind will be closer to 8 billion if they're looking at what the club might be worth in the next 5 or 10 years. So this feels to me like a clause that is not urgent. It's activated in August, 18 months from the original sale. The Glazers can seek interest, but if they don't find it today or tomorrow, I think they'll sit back, they'll let Ratcliffe do all of the restoration and hard work, and then eventually somebody may come. But of course, in the meantime, there could be a possibility the clause expires, or that Ratcliffe preempts another buyer and says he wants a bigger slice of the pie.
Now, onto the football. And last time we heard from Ivan Toney, he was talking up just how good the Saudi League was and how it compared with the Premier League. But a couple of stories, a few whispers recently about a possible return in the January window to the Premier League. What have you been hearing about that?
I think Ivan Toney, as you say, is speaking very positively about his time in Saudi Arabia. But what's going to be really interesting in the next few months is, will Thomas Tuchel tell him definitively, by being in Saudi, you're further down the pecking order? And Toney's aspiration is to play in the World Cup. Plus the fact, the way the calendar falls, there's a Ramadan break, and that is in the months at the moment of February through to mid-March. And there's also a break before the festive period as well. So it wouldn't actually be a bad idea for players that want to stay sharp to do a half-season loan and then maybe even go back to Saudi Arabia. So I think there'll be interest in Ivan Toney. Al Ahly sources say they don't want to sell. There's a brand new sporting director there, and he doesn't want to let Ivan Toney go. And then as far as Premier League interest, I think we've heard links with Tottenham due to the Thomas Frank connection. I'm not aware of any Spurs approach at this stage. Some have even said Manchester United. And again, I think Manchester United are banking on Benjamin Sesko, and they've got also Mateus Cunha, who can play at 9. But if Josh Zirkzee left, you never know, another striker could come in at Old Trafford. But at the moment, it's all quiet as far as the Premier League return is concerned. And again, even if there is interest, Toney would have to agitate for the move with his World Cup chances in mind, because Al Ahly don't want to let him go.
And how would that affect the tax situation? Because we hear a lot about players having to stay for a certain period. If they just went on a loan but were still contracted to a Saudi club, would that be an issue or not?
If it was a loan back to the UK, even if he was contracted to a Saudi club, he'd spend too many days in the UK and there would be a tax problem. But there can be workarounds. So if the player wanted to loan and then go back to Saudi, they could do what Jordan Henderson did and ask to defer their wage. And then when they return to Saudi Arabia, get a bigger number thereafter. So it's one for the lawyers and the accountants, but it's not a given if it's a loan that there will be tax implications. But it's a lot harder if specifically that return for Tony is to the UK as opposed to somewhere else in Europe.
You get the sense though that Tuchel doesn't fancy him. I mean, he had him in that squad. He never even brought him for about 10 seconds.
It does.
He had him around the training camp.
I think, what happens in January? What happens in January will tell us a lot about the conversations they've had. Finally, a story from earlier today. Not particularly good news for Forest. Newcastle United, looks like they've poached Ross Wilson to be their new sporting director. I mean, is this a blow for... Good news for Newcastle, I guess, but is this a blow for Forest, Ben?
I think it's a blow for Forest in the sense that they obviously regard Ross Wilson very highly, but I don't think it's a surprise. My understanding is Nottingham Forest have known that Ross Wilson was likely to depart pretty much a week or two after Paul Mitchell left Newcastle United. And now we're in a situation where it's all done between Ross Wilson and Newcastle to become sporting director for the Magpies, but there's still some advanced talks about compensation and the exit package. But my expectation is this gets done in a matter of days and Ross Wilson goes over to St James's Park. And then the other point to note is who might replace him. And here's where it gets really complicated, because 6 weeks ago, to my first point about Forest knowing Wilson was likely to leave, I would have said Scott Munn, because Ange Postecoglou had said to Evangelos Marianakis that he wanted a reunion with Munn, having worked together at Tottenham. But now, because there's such a big question mark over Postecoglou, I'm not so sure that Munn replacing Ross Wilson will be a given, but that's one of the names to watch, because the expectation is that Ross Wilson will go to Newcastle United, and then we have to see what Forest do, because Edu is there. But remember, Edu Gasper's role is for the group, not just Nottingham Forest. So they will need to bring in another recruitment expert.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ben.
Cheers, guys.
Take care. Ben Jacobs there. It used to be the managerial merry-go-round. He's now the sporting director's merry-go-round. It could end up being Paul Mitchell there. I don't know if he's back in work or not. But it'd be good news for Eddie Howe, because he admitted over the summer he just had far too much on his plate. He was kind of doing the job as well. And
it was too much.
It is far too much. Anyway... yes, we will keep an eye on that Manchester United story. I'm sure the boys on Drive will be chatting about it. We're going to bring you Top Macklin's American Sport Roundup very shortly, and the clips of the week, and we'll talk a bit of Wales and look at the impact on that pretty hefty defeat last night. A better second half, but a pretty worrying first 20 minutes, considering they got a big World Cup qualifier with Belgium on Monday. But, Ernie will join us for a chat a little bit later on in the show. We're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station. Time then to enter the world of American sports, as always, at this point of a Friday with Todd Macklin. Hey, Todd.
Hi, boys. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, okay. So is it turkey or do you carve the moose this evening?
You know, oddly enough, our family usually gets pizza and wings on Canadian Thanksgiving.
Fantastic. And is it a big sports day in Canada as well?
It is, just like the weekend actually is going to turn out to be. It's the opening night, Saturday night of Hockey Night in Canada, which is an annual tradition in Canada, obviously. And then the Blue Jays beat the Yankees in the American League Division Series. So Sunday will be game one of the ALCS against either Seattle or Detroit. And then game two will be on Monday, which is the official holiday, Thanksgiving holiday Monday.
Fantastic.
I didn't realize the Yankees are out. Was that a surprise?
I think to the Yankees.
Yeah. I mean, they seem to be having a good season.
Listen, guys, I think the Blue Jays were pretty confident. They won the division. So they had the same record as the Yankees during the regular season. But the Jays won the division because they finished with the same record, but the Jays got the nod as division winner because they won more games. The games, I mean, the Jays won 3 of the 4 games. And, you know, the first the first 2 weren't very close. The last win was. But yeah, it's been euphoric in Toronto and really all across Canada. Since a couple nights ago when the Jays won.
I saw David Ortiz, Big Pappy, the Red Sox legend, trolling the Yankees.
Because the Yankees knocked out the
Red Sox, yeah.
Anyway.
Better news for New York sport is that the Giants won last night. They beat the Eagles 34-17.
Yeah.
Some of the fallout from it, there seemed to be quite a lot of coverage of their rookie running back, Cam Scatterboo. What a great name.
Yeah.
A name that deserves to be remembered. Who, during the post-match interviews, him and a teammate started ripping off their shirts and chest bumping.
Yeah, listen, a second straight Thursday night shocker. You remember last week, San Francisco were missing most of their good players, and still came up with a win against the Rams. And this week, I think the Eagles were 7.5, 8-point favorites over the Giants. And the Giants shocked them and won the game. And yeah, if you're getting interviewed after the game, why not take your shirt off? And Jason Kelsey, right, is part of the broadcast crew. He's taking his shirt off.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, right. It's just you're celebrating. And listen, it's you talked about where the Yankees shocked they lost. Yeah, and I would believe the Eagles are incredibly shocked that they lost. They were 4-0 a couple weeks ago, lost a game where they were way up on Denver at home, and then to lose to the Giants. The Giants lost last week to New Orleans, who hadn't won all year. And then to beat the Eagles, just absolutely stunning last night.
It's good.
I thought Kelsey played for the Eagles, but everybody doesn't.
It's good. It's good for a bit of competitive balance, isn't it? Really, when in the league. Let's move on to the controversial owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, who has been fined a cool $250,000.
A lot of money
for apparently giving Jets fans the finger when they played there. He said he meant to put his thumb up to some Cowboys fans in the same area, and he just ended up putting up the wrong digit, which sounds like, I mean, he's got previous for appealing this sort of stuff, so he may appeal it, but that sounds a pretty lame excuse, Todd.
Yeah, the evidence is pretty conclusive, and listen, I think Jerry will be okay to pay it. I don't think. Right? Like, that's probably his Diet Coke money or something like that, right? Like, so, no, and listen, the evidence is there. I think probably the final stick, and they won the game. That's probably the biggest thing, and really the only thing Jerry cares about is they won a game. Yeah. They needed to win that game against the Jets. So, yeah.
Now, Bill Belichick, I'm sure even casual followers of American sport will think I've heard that name, possibly because of his...
I think he's been distracted.
25-year-old girlfriend. But it's more, of course, he was a legendary coach of the Patriots and had won everything there was to win. He's gone... He was a bit of an eyebrow raise when he went into coaching a university team, North Carolina. But the results have been bad at the start of this season. There's a report apparently was leaked suggesting a lot of the players and the parents are not happy with the program. One of the top pundits there, Paul Feinbaum, a pundit in the world of football, says that Belichick should walk to avoid further humiliation. So this is a bit of a surprise. He's not been able to transfer his magic to the university.
Well, I think the surprise has been that they didn't expect it to be this bad. Listen, I don't think there were any expectations on North Carolina to compete for the national title, but I don't think people thought it would be this bad. And yeah, there's all kinds of talk out there. I mean, he has the safety net in knowing he can walk into and be a pundit on any of the networks.
Sure. Will
pretty much hire him to be a pundit for NFL games. He knows that. But he's also an incredibly proud guy. So my sense is he's going to last a year. I mean, listen, who knows? My sense is he lasts a year, and then, because walking in the middle of the year, to me, is probably more humiliating than having the bad year and leaving, just saying, hey, at the end of the year, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Now, in baseball, we spoke about Cal Raleigh the other day of the Seattle Mariners. He's had an amazing season, 60 home runs, a record. And at the weekend, they played a game, and he was going for, obviously, his 61st home run. And one of the Mariners fans had a sweatshirt on in the crowd, which said, "Dump 61 here." He's known as the Big Dumper. Apparently not for reasons that you might consider. But he's known as the Big Dumper. And Dump 61 here, guy had the sweatshirt on. And I don't know if he meant to pick him out, but the guy caught the ball for the 61st home run, didn't he?
Paul, if Cal Raleigh meant to hit the ball exactly to that fan with the sweatshirt, that's probably the most incredible feat in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unreal luck that this guy ends up catching the ball. Should say this. He changed his shirt to say, hey, dump 62. Yeah. Unfortunately, Cal Raleigh couldn't hit him for the 62nd home run of the season. But Cal Raleigh did meet the guy after the game, like which he's done a lot of times, right? With the one of his big home run balls, right? Remember the guy gave it to him and whatever, and he met the fan or gave it to a kid.
That's right.
Who gave it to him.
Yeah.
So Cal Raleigh's been great with the fans this year. And hey, listen, tonight in Seattle, Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, Game 5 against the Detroit Tigers. You lose, you go home. You win, you face the Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays, in the American League Championship Series.
Wow.
So tonight's going to be incredible in Seattle.
I disappeared down a YouTube baseball rabbit hole the other day.
Did you? And what was down there?
And it was a brilliant profile of Babe Ruth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Is there a lot of good footage of him?
Yeah, there's some quite interesting footage. The one where he points, that's what reminded me. He points.
Yes, the called shot.
The called shot. And
yeah. So he says where he's going to put it, and that's where he puts it.
Basically.
And he does, yeah. I mean, there's lots of people that say that's not what he was doing, but the story's just too great.
Yeah.
Like to call your shot and say, hey, I'm going to hit a home run, and you do.
He could well
I
have
don't care if it's not true. It's just such a great story.
His numbers.
He could well have been pointing at a woman, Todd. Let's be honest.
Absolutely, he could have. Or a drink, Paul,
Or a drink.
right? Or a
That's
drink
it.
or a hot
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, that's very true. He had no right, really, the lifestyle he had, to be as brilliant as he was. But anyway, Phoebe Schechter finally is a regular visit at the studio. She pops in and sees us, does a bit for us on talkSPORT. She's an NFL coach and a pundit, and she's been on the Sky coverage. And she got called out the other day. They came back to him, I think, in the studio during a break in play. And she had a mouthful of custard cream. She had a cookie for our American audience in her mouth, which she then hid behind her back while she finished the cookie and just kind of got on with it. And then when the cameras were off her, she kind of lobbed it towards the camera. I think if you are watching on Connect
Bit of live
TV,
telly.
you'll be out there. You can see the hand behind the back there. What's going on? And
I see you.
yeah, Jason Bell's in full flow, and there she throws the biscuit, left-handed, quite interestingly. So
that was
so she's gone viral, Phoebe, because of that. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it yet, Todd.
I'm watching it for the first time now, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, they say, you people in the media, you just sit there and have to talk about the games. That is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
The feat that she pulled off there.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I don't know about throwing away custard cream. My wife would kill me if I ever threw away a custard cream. She loves those.
Good stuff.
Brilliant.
We'll catch up with you next week, Todd. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend.
Thank you. We will. See you, boys.
There we are. There's Tom Macklin, a man on American sports. And, of course, we are big on American sports here on talkSPORT. The NFL is back in London. talkSPORT Tour bring you exclusive live commentary this Sunday of the Broncos v. the Jets at our gaff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's back, yeah. You'll also be able to see the team if you head to our talkSPORT USA YouTube channel, as they'll be hosting a live watch-along from the stadium with plenty of extra content. So the Broncos v. the Jets, live over on talkSPORT 2 this Sunday afternoon from 2 p.m. We'll have the clips of the week very shortly, and then we'll look at the damage, if any, that was done to Wales by that pretty humbling defeat to England at Wembley last night. A better second half. Maybe they'll look at the positives from that, but a pretty terrible first 20 minutes considering they've got a massive World Cup qualifier against Belgium on Monday. Robert Earnshaw, former Wales striker, is going to join us to give us his take on that. And then, of course, we'll hand over to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent at 4 with Drive.
Thousands of people have lined the streets of Manchester to pay tribute to Ricky the Hitman Hatton. His funeral procession travelled from his gym in his hometown Hyde up to Manchester Cathedral, where a private funeral's being held for him. One of those who turned out was the legendary commentator Ian Darke, who spoke with talkSPORT.
I think he stands, in the history of this, famous sporting city, alongside the sort of sporting royalty of Sir Alex Ferguson, George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law.
These fans watched as the procession passed them.
Two-weight world champion, never changed. He was always the same person that he always were.
Just a massive character. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't follow boxing, you know the name Ricky Hatton.
Now, it's our understanding that Stephen Gerrard returning to Ibrox is close to being agreed. It's already met with Rangers hierarchy in London on Thursday, where they held what are described as positive talks. Now, I've been hearing from Morgan Rogers, who continued to stake his claim for the England number 10 shirt with a goal and an assist against Wales. He says it's no bad thing to be fighting with the likes of Bellingham, Foden and Palmer for that position.
Every player will be breathing down each other's necks and the competition will be high, and that's what we want as an England squad. That's what we want as a nation going into a tournament. You want people competing for places, you want different options, and I think that's what we got. So I'm just going to keep pushing and see where it takes me.
You can hear Latvia against England live on talkSPORT on Tuesday.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Our friendly colleagues are right behind you at over 580 stations. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yes, time once again for the Clips of the Week with Toolstation. And Andy, why don't you get us underway today?
Okay, and we kick off this week with, this is a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alan Brazil on breakfast with another memorable show intro.
We've been asked this morning after as Ali, excuse me, they said, where am I getting Sally from? Ali said he would beat Alcaraz.
Sally McCoist.
I'd love to meet Sally McCoist. Ali and Sally McCoist. Fantastic.
Tremendous, isn't it?
And of course, the England manager has been much discussed on talkSPORT this week. Here's Scott Minto chatting about it and coming up with an interesting turn of phrase.
He's a very forthright, very believing in himself, and rightly so, because he is, one of the top managers in the world. So I've got no beef to grind at all with Thomas Tuchel.
That's okay. What, they're making a bolognese?
Hoping for a hamburger.
Yeah.
I like Scott's burgers.
Yeah, I bet they're very good. You've got to knock up a bolognese or something. Next, Andy.
And here's Sam Matterface, also giving him a mention.
If you think we should be focusing on that England performance, why are you whining about Tuchel's perfectly reasonable comments?
Thomas Tuchel, I do like that, because if he did lose the England gig and wanted to come on this station, we could have Talk Tuchel, couldn't we?
A tremendous program.
Talking Tuchel. That'd be a good show. This is betting expert Alex Boyes at half-time during Brentford versus City.
Brentford, they're 16-1 to turn this round. And remember, we mentioned before the game, they have won 6 of their last 4 at home. So perhaps they're not out of this one just yet.
Tremendous
what a job he's doing. What a job he's doing, Andrews. What a manager.
It was a couple of double headers. That's
what it was. Yeah.
And here's a proud boast from Natalie Sawyer.
I haven't
box and stuff.
No, I do have a nice seat.
Shall I tell you? That's all I'll say. I have a nice scene.
Okay, well, you got to blow your own trumpet sometimes in life, Natalie.
I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, that's right. Back to Big Alan, who had an interesting take on future World Cup hosts.
How are you, Ray, with different countries now? You know, I'm still not sure of this. I like to play a World Cup in Spain, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for Spain and
34,
and then 38. I'm hoping Spain.
Yeah.
World Cup 42, Spain.
If I'm still alive, Spain 42 for me.
Spain. I can't wait for Spain 46. Sally. Sorry, Ali.
Let's get the sports news now, featuring Steve Forbes and a friend.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, talkSPORT understands several Manchester United legends have been approached about potentially investing in the club. It comes as Riyadh season promoter Turki Al-Sheikh claimed a deal to sell United to a new investor was at an advanced stage. We gather he referenced a UAE-based group, but club sources are in the dark over the claims. It's understood the Glazers still value United in excess of £5 billion.
That was Turkey in the background. He's trying to attract his attention.
I don't think it was. I think it's parallel dog news for dogs. The dogs out there have been listening to that. Apparently, Lamppost 3 just round the corner is worth checking out tonight.
It's good.
And Fido around the corner's got ringworm. That was the breaking news today. Anyway, where were we? This is the former Scotland striker Ross McCormack recalling their last World Cup appearance.
It was France '98, wasn't it? They opened the tournament against Brazil at the Parc de France, or whatever you call it, Parc de Paris.
Yeah,
neither of those.
Neither of those parks, really, Ross. But it doesn't matter. Hopefully, they'll be back soon after Sunday.
Now, here's a little exchange between Jim White and Simon Jordan.
The perception is you've got to be judged now. Now, the comparisons that he made, I think...
But he does.
Well, he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
By who? You?
No.
Who?
It's a bit who's on first, isn't it? It's a bit
yeah.
Abbott and Costello. And actually, we had to cut it down because it was a lot longer than that. This is the original.
Now, the comparisons that he made, I think...
But he does.
Well, he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Well, he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
By who? You?
No.
Who? You?
No.
By who? You?
No.
Who?
It's a good job he cut it down, really, wasn't it? Could have gone on like that for ages.
Marvellous.
Andy.
And we were shocked to hear Sam Matterface say this during his Leeds Spurs commentary.
Pedro Porro has just had something thrown at him by the corner flag.
They're getting out of hand, those corner flags,
really
aren't they?
are.
I mean, this is not the first time it's happened. Remember Alex Crook the other week?
Eventually, Manchester United with Dorgu should get it clear. I say should get it clear because he's been dispossessed by the corner flag. It's behind for a goal kick.
Premier League going to have to step in, aren't they?
You can't have
They're
this,
throwing
really.
stuff. They're tripping people over.
Oh, yeah, I like this one.
Yes.
And finally, it's Shabana Hearn on Weekend Breakfast, introducing a guest.
To look back in the game, we can speak to former Bournemouth midfielder turned nutritionist Mark Pugh. Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, Park Mark.
Well,
it's
that
easy
happens,
done.
yeah.
It's a minor
Mark
slip
Pugh,
of the
Park
tongue.
Mark. I get it.
We do it, hundreds of times a show, almost certainly. But despite that, this did sort of remind us of something.
Confidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as...
Mark.
A morning suit can be avoided if you take a route straight through what is known as...
Mark.
John's got brewer's fruit. He gets intimidated by the dirty pigeons. They love a bit of it.
Mark.
Who's that gut lord marching? You should cut down on your pork life, mate. Get some exercise.
There we are, you get the idea with that. We should thank Wollaston Village, Jez Dobbs, Nick Ellaby, Sen Morrow, Mark Coates, Mike Beer, Jeff Coe, Bob from Essex, Eric Holthwaite, Oscar
Old
OK.
Mike Beer.
Sorry?
Old Mike Beer.
Old Mike Beer. Old Mike Beer, yeah. Eric Holthwaite, of course not. Oscar O'Kane and Glyn Barrington all suggested clips that were played this week. If you hear a clip on TalkSport over the next 7 days, please do send in to us, talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089, tweet to TSH&J, TSHANDJ. As always, we just need a day and a time when you heard the clip go out. Could be on one of our sister stations. We've had Chris Evans recently on Virgin and Alexis Conran on Talk Radio. So if you hear something on the sister station, we will certainly check it out So, I'm sorry, Times Radio. So anyway, get in touch. Talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. If you want to hear the clips of the week again, that particular set, they'll be available as a podcast within about 25 minutes or so. And there's a whole raft of previous clips of the week there. The H&J Daily today has got some good stuff in it. If you've missed the show, we've chatted to a new band, The Claws, who are a nice bunch of lads from Birmingham. All big football fans. Went to the same school as Jack Grealish and had a few Jack stories. We'll bring you that. Also, all manner of other things as well. Stan Collymore, very interested on England. So go and check out the H&J Daily podcast, which again will be up in around 20 minutes' time. We're going to end today talking Wales. Beaten pretty comfortably last night by England. Really, the game was over within 20 minutes. So how does that feed into their big game against Belgium on Monday? Robert Earnshaw, former Wales striker, is going to join us for a chat. And stick around at 4 for Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent would drive. But that was the clips of the week with our very good friends at Talkstation. Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Before we chat to Robert Earnshaw, the former Wales striker, let's hear from the Wales manager, Craig Bellamy, was talking after the game for that defeat to England at Wembley. But of course, it's all about Belgium on Monday in the World Cup qualifier, and he had this to say about the game.
No, we played them when they had, unless it's changed tonight, they've had Rudy Garcia when we last played them, who's an exceptional manager. So, no, I lived there. I lived in Belgium for 3 years, so loved it there. I know the people there. I know the setup. I know watching Rudy for the first time, but some of his coaching staff and even medical I know quite well. Some of the players I've coached. So it's actually a country that I know quite well, and players I know well. So yeah, it's a difficult task, but yeah, it's a good game now. It's a good game.
Yeah, he worked, of course, with with Vincent Kompany at Anderlecht.
Yeah.
So that was his involvement there. So how damaging was last night? I think you've seen a bit of captain hindsight going on from some Wales fans. The line is, why are we playing a team as good as England with the danger of a morale-boosting defeat, as it turned out, when we could have played a team maybe more at our level, just as a bit of a tune-up for the game? Let's see if former Wales striker Robert Earnshaw agrees. Hi, Rob.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thanks, Rob. It's quite easy to say after the game that it was a bad call in light of what happened. But, could have been different. They could have put in a cracking performance, maybe come away with a draw or even a narrow defeat and still said it was a good workout. So it's being wise after the event, isn't it, really?
Yeah, obviously, first things first, people think, okay, why is there a friendly right before a big game? Because they have to have a friendly. And this is one of the problems with the whole fixture list. They have to have a friendly. So they're forced to. And then why would you travel, 3-4 hours on a plane when you could probably get a coach down the road, play a very, very good team? And also, listen, I've been a football player. One of the best things and one of the biggest things you learn from is when you play the very, very best, the top, and England are top. And when you come off the pitch, the impact of that is as good as 100 training sessions. So I think a lot of people think, okay, yeah, but why didn't we play this and play that? Because you play in the top team. And what Wales are going through right now is Wales are building, right? So if you think of 2 or 3 years, when you're building 2 or 3 years, inside of that, you have to have the biggest challenges. And I think that's what the England game was. Listen, I was one that thought they'll play better. They didn't play well. So on that sense, not playing well, that's hard. I think that was disappointing.
The first 2 goals especially, look, the third goal's a great finish, although you could argue they should have closed Saka down sooner. But they were soft goals to give away. That will be a worry, I would imagine, because that's not the way that Wales normally defend. They're normally a lot sharper than that, aren't they?
Yeah, and when I looked at it and I thought, well, first 2 goals, 2 set pieces. If anything, we've been very, very good at that. And normally we've got big boys, just in terms of picking up, very, very good, throw the bodies on the line. And almost it was those second little phases that hit them, really. So to be fair, it's maybe comes at a perfect time when you look at it and you think, guys, that's one area where we've actually been very good. That dropped off. Okay. That doesn't happen against Belgium, because maybe that could have happened on Monday night. But yeah, I think the 2 goals were disappointing. So when you think about the timing, 2 minutes, bang, 10 minutes, bang, and they're both set pieces, that the game was finished then. You're not going to go up against, the Rices, the Gordon, Watkins, Saka. The game's over. They've killed it. But, I just thought that it just the better team won, to be honest with you. And also, it gives Wales a lesson and a few lessons in terms of, number one, quality. The quality and the speed you have to play up against. I thought that shone through. England were much, much better, much faster. And then in terms of that, you take that into Monday and think, okay, now we understand it. Now you get it, because the biggest lesson you get, like I said earlier, the biggest lesson is when you play up against that, and then you come away and you think, wow, okay, the speed of that's what I've got to get to. And I think that is the lesson from that England game, because they outplayed Wales. They were too good. They were too sharp. I think they were too efficient. And you just think, do you know what? Well done, England, because I think they really turned up as well, especially that first half. They really turned up, and you just thought, wow, okay, this team is the real deal right now, and that is the level.
Yeah, sure.
Did you take any encouragement from the second half performance, where they were a lot tighter, seemed to play the tactics which they probably should have started with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Thomas Tuchel is an excellent coach, because when I looked at them in the first half and the second half, they did what they needed to do in both halves. And Craig Bellamy would have been thinking, do you know what? He's a very sharp coach, because there's little tweaks that go on inside the game that probably most people miss. And I thought he outcoached Wales in that England game. But I would say the second half was much better. Obviously, there was 2 or 3 chances there. Maybe if you come back to 3-2, then you've got a different game. Momentum shifts. So those are the little things that I kind of took away. But I think the biggest thing was, I think number one is, I think how England play a little bit, especially in possession, is going to help, I think, Wales in that Belgium, because Belgium kind of start to attack in a similar way, leaving 2 at the back, and the rest kind of go forward a little bit. So I think that's the probably positive thing. And the positive thing is, if we met England in a year's time and in 2 years' time, I don't think we'll see a performance like that. I think you'll see a much more competitive performance, because I understand. I spoke with Craig this week, actually, and I understand what he's trying to do and where he's trying to push the players, and they're in that transition. They're not there yet, but they're in that transition. Doesn't mean we're going to beat England all the time. It just means you want to be way closer than you were last night. It was a 3-0 convincing win, so you've got to take the lessons from that.
Yeah. Good to talk to you, Rob. We appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Rob. And the atmosphere.
Pleasure, guys.
All the best. That's Robert and Shaw there.
A lot better as well.
Yeah, of course. And they proved, remember the Belgium game last time? They were 3-0 down. They got back to 3-0, and De Bruyne scored right at the end. It was an amazing game. So they can go behind against good sides and work their way back into the game. And we were talking about it yesterday. They do have some very good players, and cause problems, Kiefer Moore especially is a sort of great sort of weapon from their point of view. We saw him pop up a couple of times last night. So that is us. I'm sure there'll be plenty of England-Wales chat coming up in Drive Next, amongst all the other big stories of the day. So thanks for your company this afternoon. If you missed any of the show, the Clips of the Week is available as a podcast if you've only just joined us. And the H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show again. Wherever you get your podcast, you'll be able to listen back. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend.